And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brown Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over these internets, all over the mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, bank bailouts. Oh, it's not a bailout, ABL. He just changed the FDIC rule to cover all the deposits, and it won't come from the taxpayer, although it's going to come from the taxpayer because they're going to raise fees to pay for it, and they can't pay for it because it's a Ponzi scheme. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Drew Barrymore. What in the world is going on with that show she has? If Cringe had a face, it would be Drew Barrymore. Good grief. We're talking about that in a minute as well. Also, this amazing video from Savanah Hernandez out there on the street with Turning Point USA, doing man on the street interviews at college campuses, asking a college NPC, a non-playable character, a video game character, a normie, about some really specific and I guess you would say controversial issues. We'll talk about that in a minute. Also, remember the Jussie Smollett hoax, which was over 4 years ago at this point? Crazy how time flies. Well, the two big bodybuilding African guys that were involved with it, who were supposed to be these white supremacist guys, spoke out. We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. If you enjoyed what you were hearing thus far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give this video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. This is also a podcast you're listening to right now. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platforms, whether it be Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, Anchor, Apple, iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the description, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. It should pop right on up. And if you're over there right now listening to the podcast, audio only, please give me a 5-star rating, a review, whatever you can on that particular platform. Please do that. It'll help me out tremendously. Also, I got to give a shout out to my sponsors first and foremost. Right away, shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these internets. Their link will be in the description, or just go to the website, patriotpost.us. Go to my merch website, ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, tank tops, whatever you want, and more. Link will be in the description. Go to my regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page. You'll be able to find articles that match each video that I produce. So you can find a little bit more about what's going on, videos that I can't post, videos without my commentary on it, sources from left, right, center, random, normie, abnormie, whatever you want. Right there on the website, anthonyblogan.com, right there on the front page. And if you go to the contact page, anthonyblogan.com/contact, you can find my email address, my snail mail address, my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm also on TikTok because they make me do it. But that's all there on anthonyblogan.com/contact. Please, please, please do not spam my email. I will block you. What does spamming mean? Well, if you send me 18 emails in a day, every day, that's spamming. So just please use the email sparingly. Also, PSA, I always say this because every day I get questions, emails, comments, concerns about the spam in the comment section. So whenever I post a new video right here on YouTube, every single time when you guys comment, there will be a reply to your comment. Not all of your comments have these replies, but a lot of your comments have these replies. It'd be a person using my picture and a name that looks like my name saying, hey, contact me on WhatsApp. Hey, contact me on here. I'm never going to ask you to do that. I'm never going to ask you to contact me in a YouTube comment. If you want to contact me, what's the best way? right here on a live stream, so you know it's me. You can see me right now talking to you live. If you're asking me a question, I can respond to you in real time. You know it's not pre-recorded. You know I'm not just playing back something. It's not a hologram. It's not AI. This is me right now talking at you, okay? But if you see a person that may appear to be me, looks kind of like me, responding to your comment on a YouTube video, it's not me. I'm never going to ask you to send personal information. I'm never going to ask you to contact me on WhatsApp or some random phone number. See the number right there, the 434-658-1220. That is the only number you will ever have of me. You would never have any other number. And that number is only available when I'm live on the show. So you can see me saying, hey, call the number. And as a matter of fact, not only is it not available at any other time except for when the show is going on, it's not even available right now when I'm talking. It won't even be available until I open the lines up. So please, oh please, oh please, do not text anybody. Do not call anybody talking about I'm ABL and I can get you some money. Send me $1,000. Don't do it. And the reason why I always say this is because I always get emails asking me, hey, is this you? Somebody in your comment section pretending to be you. They also do that on Instagram. There was a fake account that looked like me. They had like 11,000 followers. Now, I don't know how they got that many followers. Maybe this person was able to repost my videos and go viral once or twice. I don't know. But it had my picture. It had my name. Everything on there was pretty much the same as my profile. The only difference was that the username had a dot and I think an underscore. I don't have any dots or underscores or anything like that in my name. Anthony B. Logan on Instagram. YouTube is right here. Anthony Brown Logan. ABL is easy to find. Anything else is not me. A random WhatsApp, not me. Random stuff. You can find whatever you want to find on my website or right here in this mix. If it's not in the description section, if I don't say it here, it ain't me. But anyway, yeah, so y'all, please be vigilant. Please be aware of what's cracking. Don't get scammed. Do not send money to a Nigerian prince talking about he's ABL. I promise you, Adewale Osundairo is not ABL, but I digress. I don't want to be racist. I don't want to be racist, so I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Speaking about some other things, where do I want to start? I kind of want to start with Jussie. I kind of want to start there, but I kind of want to save it a little bit. I was going to transition into, speaking about Africans going to Jussie. I'm gonna hold off on that for a second. I think what I'm gonna do is go to, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go to Jussie. I'm gonna do it. I gotta do it right now because it's right on top of my head. I gotta do it right now. So, Jussie Smollett. We all remember Jussie Smollett. Y'all remember the whole thing that happened back. What was that? It's been 4 years. That whole thing happened in January of 2019. Can you believe it? Over 4 years ago, that whole thing happened. Matter of fact, I was just doing some thinking. I was just reminiscing. I was just, thinking about the 2008 financial crisis. That was a long time ago. Think about 2008. This was right when they were changing from Bush, Cheney to Biden and Obama. 2008 was when they had that election. 2009, you have Biden and Obama get inaugurated. January 2009. So check it out. Watch this. How do I word it? The time between 2023 right now and 2028 is the same time between 1993 and 1978. You see what I mean? It kind of puts things in perspective. It tells you how long ago 2008 really was. Think about somebody that was born in like the year 2000. If you were born in 2000, you are 23 years old right now, right? But in 2008, you were 8 years old. So if you're, like I say, if you're born in 2000, you're 23 years old, you might be, you're out of college, working, maybe you're about to get married, got a family. Well, not young people nowadays, but you could. I put it to you this way. My mom and dad, my mom was 23 and my dad was 25 when I was born. They were already married, were married for like 4 years, the whole thing, okay? So put it in perspective. You could be 23, 25 with a whole family. You could be in the military, graduated from college, doing your career. But in 2008, you were in the 3rd grade, watching Coco Melon and stuff like that. So time we take for granted, and we don't realize how long time periods are. Anyway, 2008 is when you had the last financial crisis, and now here we are again with another one. But I'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Did I say 08 to 23? Yeah, 2008 to 2023. So 2023 to 2023 to 2008. If I didn't say that properly, 2023 to 2008, and then 1993, 1978, 15 years of difference. All right. So hopefully I said that properly. I got to get myself together. That whole time change thing messed me up. The 1 hour difference. I mean, good grief. That 1 hour difference tore me to pieces. They need to go ahead and just make daylight savings time permanent, or I don't know. They got to do something. They got to stop changing this hour like that, because I'm just now getting my sleep schedule back together. It was a mess. I'm still kind of messed up about that. But anyway, I digress. The point is that time flies, and sometimes you got to zoom out to appreciate just how much time has passed. So let's go back to Jussie Smollett. Now, that happened 2019, and right when it happened, I think everybody pretty much knew it was phony. Let's go back and recap that. Then we're going to get to the new thing that has come out from two of the guys that were involved with the hoax. All right. Yeah, somebody said I said 23 to 28 or 03 to 08. Yeah, y'all know what I meant. 2008 to 2023. But anyway, speaking about Jussie. So it was a polar vortex. Remember the whole polar vortex thing? It was the coldest night in Chicago. Chicago is already cold. You're in a northern place. The lake is right there. Lake effect, wind. Do you know how cold wind is when it's cold outside? It's a lake right there, and you're in a northern climate in the wintertime. I mean, ice cold. Ice cold. It's way too cold to be outside. Nobody's going to be outside in that kind of weather. You won't be walking around just because you want to walk around in that kind of weather. It's not happening. But for some reason, Jussie was so hungry. He was so hungry, he had to go to the Subway to get a sandwich. And he had to walk to go get it. Now, I don't know if DoorDash was available at this particular point in time. I mean, pizza delivery is something. I'm not walking anywhere when it's that cold outside. And if you get food delivered to your crib, you better get that person the biggest tip you ever gave them in your life. You're talking about basically delivering food in Arctic temperatures. I'm not doing it. But anyway, the story was this. Here was the original story. Jussie goes to the Subway to get a Subway sandwich. And out of nowhere, you got these two big racist white rednecks wearing MAGA hats talking about, this is MAGA country. Aren't you that F word from Empire? Aren't you that FN word from Empire? Now, right away, I'm thinking this is BS. Instantly, when I hear that story, I'm like, okay, hold on. So you mean to tell me it's 1,000 degrees below zero, the coldest night of the year in Chicago, lake effect, snow and wind, all of that, just blasting you in the face. And there's two random white guys just hiding in the shadows at 2:00 in the morning with MAGA hats on and rope and bleach. Huh? Does that make any sense? Why would they be there? Since when was Chicago, Illinois MAGA country? Why would they target Jussie Smollett? How would they even know who that is? How would the average Trump voter know who that is? I knew who he was a little bit, but not really. I never watched Empire. I knew of Empire. I recognized him before. I knew his sister more than him. I knew Journey Smollett from movies like East Bayou and stuff like that, but I didn't know who he was really. How would you have two random white guys pop out on them at night, throw bleach on him, and put some Ace Hardware twine on his neck trying to lynch him? How you going to lynch somebody on the ground? So you beating somebody up, the rope gets put on you on the ground, and it was an attempted lynching, and then check it out. So after the so-called attack from the white guys, and what I'm doing right now is recounting the first story that came out that we were told to believe that didn't make any sense. So after he gets beat up for coming from the subway by the two racist country redneck white guys, MAGA country, bleach, rope. After this, he goes home. He still has a Subway sandwich, and then he eats the sandwich at home. When the police get there, they see the wrapper of the Subway sandwich on the table. He tore the sandwich to pieces. So he must have really been hungry, for real. He probably was super hungry, method acting or something. So it's like, you know what? I'm not going to just go outside and get a sandwich and not eat it. I'm going to be legitimately hungry. He punished the sandwich. He tore it to pieces. Ate the sandwich. You still have the twine on your neck, like it's a necklace. It was a mess. But we were told to believe that story. And some people may have believed it if it was just not so ridiculous. And at this particular time, you had race riots happening a little bit, so that could have sparked a race riot in Chicago. But the story was so ridiculous that nothing happened. Everybody knew it was phony. And then what happens? Later on, we find out that he orchestrated the whole thing. You had guys on videotape going to the place at 2 a.m., going to his apartment at 2 a.m., waiting outside. And it was these two big bodybuilding Nigerian dudes. You got the blackest guys in Chicago to do this. You couldn't find two white guys in Chicago to carry this out for you. You getting your friends to go do this for you. I mean, you couldn't have found a guy that looks like Drake, French Montana, a light-skinned brother. He could have got guys that were his same complexion, speaking about Jussie or Jussie Smollett, and it would have been a little bit more believable. You're going to get Nigerians, big dudes, obvious Nigerians. You're going to get these guys. This is MAGA country. This is MAGA country today, huh? This is MAGA country. You're going to get them to do that? So videotape come out. They're going to beauty supply stores buying red hats. They're buying rope or twine or string from Ace Hardware. You got them in the cab going to the place, and the cab's camera, the cab or the Uber, whatever that was. You got money going from point A to point B, and he didn't even pay that much. What was like $500 or something crazy like that? Some small amount of money. It wasn't even a lot of money. It's like, look, Jussie, if you're going to have these guys do this, can they at least get SAG pay? Can they at least get the bare minimum for actors? You paying these guys in the bucket of chicken. You might as well. Or Subway sandwiches. It's like, yo, y'all come to my apartment and fake beat me up. I'll give you a Subway sandwich and 2 pieces of chicken. How about it? And check it out. I'll put in a good word for you on the set when I'm going back to Empire so y'all can get a recurring role. This whole thing was a mess. When it all got found out, they memed it to death. It became a joke. Dave Chappelle did a whole skit about it on one of his Netflix specials. That's why he will now be known as Jussie Smollett. There was no white face. Nope, they came looking just like me right here. They came looking like me. No white face, just regular dudes, hoodies. That was it. No white face. No white gloves. No reverse OJ gloves going on. No white face. No makeup. Just regular. Like everybody go to the gym and work out. That's how they came to the whole thing. Can I find a parody right quick? I want to find one of the parodies. Oh, this right here. This was amazing. Hold on. There might be a little bit of cussing in this. Y'all, so y'all please forgive me if it is. Please forgive me. Now, here's a parody. This is not what just came out recently from the actual guys that were involved. Remember, there were two Africans. They were both brothers, the Osundairos, ABL and Ola. Shout out to you guys. If I said your name wrong, you let me know in the comments. But I know you guys are watching. I saw you guys on the Fox Nation clip. I know y'all guys are watching. If you're watching, let me know if I'm doing a good job or not. But this was a parody that came out back in 2019. The reality is not too far from the parody. Please pardon the cursing. Let's check it out right now. Let's get a little bit of sound and let's go.
Oh my goodness, is that him?
Do we have to go now? We have to
Right now, come on, hurry up.
Aren't you the man from the Empire show?
That movie?
Yes, got a problem?
Yeah. Why do you...
Doing around here?
Guys, come on, the accent. More white, more racist, hillbilly. KKK?
Okay. Hey, nigger, stop right there.
What are you doing in our town?
Aren't you that nigger from Empire?
Yes, I am. I'm the gay Tupac. What's good? What's good?
Nigger, what the hell you doing over here?
Get more
Look at
aggressive,
him
more
and-
aggressive. Oh, shit! Oh,
Wrap rope around his
Rope
neck.
around his neck.
let me fight back a little bit. Let me fight back.
All right. Ow, that hurt, nigger. What the hell you do? Pour bleach on his
Hold
nigger
on,
ass.
I'm gonna get the water. Hurry up.
Hurry up.
Oh, please stop doing it, please.
This is MAGA country now, nigger.
We don't belong here. We don't like.
We don't like your gay seagull ass over here. Don't you ever bring your ass around here, nigger boy, or we'll beat your ass again.
Please don't do it, please.
Hit him one last time to show we're serious. And run away so the cops don't see anything that we already did.
All right. Why? Why me?
So this was a parody, okay? Like a straight parody, just comedy, nothing else from 4 years ago, right? What you're about to see is the actual guys who were involved with it reenacting. And what they did was not too far from this. And y'all give me a second. I'm going to find that right quick. And we're going to get rocking and rolling. Here we go. I got it right here. Right here. We ready. Let's go ahead and go for it. Now, these are the guys. These are the so-called white supremacists. The Osundairo brothers, right? Big bodybuilding Nigerians. Like they're my cousins or something. What's going on, twin? Twin 1, twin 2.
They took our beautiful bench. This is where we waited for Jussie to come before we attacked them. So we got here with 10 minutes to spare, and we had to plan our escape route to survey the land. His building is actually right here, right above the stairs that we're going to attack him at. We made sure we got there at 2 a.m. sharp.
On the dot.
On the dot. We had no phones because he did not want us to bring any phones. He said, so we don't lose them. I don't know if that's really the reason, but you can deduce your own reason. So 2 a.m., he was nowhere to be found. He was not there. So we were like, damn, what do? We didn't have no way of contacting him. He had no way of contacting us. So we waited here for about, what? 4 minutes?
It was about 4
Roughly
minutes,
4 minutes.
but it felt like forever.
Because it was cold as balls. So I saw him out the corner of my eye, and I was like, okay, that's him. Let's go. We gotta go get this Empire fat. Yeah, that's him. That's him. Is that him?
That's that neck.
It's that Nick.
Get that neck.
Oh, he's moving fast. Come on, let's get him.
Get that neck.
Let's get him.
These are the real guys that were involved. This is not a parody. These are the actual guys that were involved. Them, the Osundairos. So this is not a parody.
We crossed the street. We said, hey, to get his attention.
Hey, Nick.
Hey. He turned around, looked at us, and that's when we started yelling the famous slurs he wanted us to yell. Hey.
Aren't you that Empire?
Hey, Empire fat Nick. It's MAGA country. And then he said, what did you say to me? And then that's when I threw the first punch at him. I held the blow because I didn't want to hurt him, of course. So I made it look real, but I held it. Then we started tussling, moving around, and then I threw him to the ground. He wanted it to look like he fought back. That was very important for him, because he said, hey, don't just beat my ass, make it look like I'm fighting back and whatnot. So we did that, and then I threw him to the ground, and after I threw him to the ground, he had no bruise. I wanted it to look more real. So then I threw him to the ground. After I threw him to the ground, I used my knuckle and gave him a noogie. So I went like this.
The noogie, hilarious.
Why did I do that? To give him a scar, to give him a mark, to make it look real, like he really did get his ass beat.
Now, pause right quick. You guys are saying, I thought they were Nigerian. They are Nigerian, but there's no accents. I know. I wanted the accents too. I wanted to be like, we beat him up right here on the bench, huh? We beat him up right here. Our brother, Jussie, gave us some money to beat him up, to do the hate hoax. I wanted those accents very badly, but obviously they probably were born in Chicago, or they probably been in the States for a long time. So there's no Nigerian accent. I wanted there so badly to be the Nigerian accent. That would have been the cherry on top of the pie.
After I did that, I fake kicked him. I don't know what he was doing. I wasn't paying attention.
That's where I came around with the bleach, the infamous bleach in the hot sauce bottle, poured it on his shirt. Then I finally put the rope around his face. I did not put it around his neck. I just placed it on his face, and that's when we took off.
Hilarious. Like I was saying in my video, these guys need a show. These guys right here need a show. They are so far beyond Jussie and his ridiculous antics, the whole hate hoax thing. These guys are hilarious, straight up and down. So yeah, this was them doing a reenactment of the whole thing. And I think that they had known Jussie before this, so they might have been friends with him. So it was probably a phone conversation like, hey man, I need y'all to do something for me. Pretend to beat me up, X, Y, and Z. It probably was a whole thing that he had planned and asked his friends to participate in. That's probably what happened. But yeah, like I said, the African accent, it would have been perfect. Man, this was gold though, but the African accent would have threw it over the top. Because imagine, you got two big 6 foot tall, bodybuilding Nigerian dudes, the blackest guys in Chicago. You're going to have them pretend to be white racist Trump supporters with MAGA hats on in Chicago in negative 1,000 degree temperature. The dumbest plan ever. The dumbest plan ever. And I've seen quite a few hate hoaxes and things like that over the past. And, you know, it's weird because I feel like after the Jussie thing happened, there was more hate hoaxes. I'm like, what are y'all doing? Don't you know there's a heightened level of scrutiny on you because of Jussie? Remember that one guy that said that these guys broke into his barbershop and they sprayed swastikas on everywhere and they took his TVs, and then they found the guy with a bunch of TVs in the back of his pickup truck. I mean, this guy had plaster on this guy still had drywall on the back of the TVs from where they were mounted on. They were mounted on the wall. He just ripped them off and put them back in his truck and was riding around like that. No tonneau cover on the back of the truck. No nothing. Just out in the open. It's like, sir, we can see your TVs right there in the back of your Ford F-150. Your Ram 1500. Your Toyota Tacoma. We see them. What are you doing? Ridiculous. And the hate hoaxes got dumber and dumber as time went on after Jussie. But you know, stupid is as stupid does. Shout out to Forrest Gump. Oh yeah, Bubba Wallace, that was a crazy one too, with the noose in the garage, the garage door pull. It's like, really, a noose? And after that, he became more famous, actually. That actually worked in his favor. I didn't know who he was before that incident happened, and after that, I kind of knew who he was, unfortunately. So I guess sometimes good press is bad press, or bad press is good press, whatever. Sometimes good press can be bad press. Sometimes bad press can be good press. But yeah, there were quite a few things like that. Exactly, Mo's game. It didn't make any sense. Chicago is very liberal. So someone saying this is MAGA country is 1 in 100 million chance of happening? Exactly. Exactly. So was that the dollar amount, Bot K? $500 he was going to pay to the brothers? $500? Look, man, if I'm going to do a hate hoax in the middle of the polar vortex, I'm going to need a tad bit more than $500. Okay, can I at least get SAG rate? Can I at least, you know what I mean, get some union benefits out of the deal? It's a whole big mess. Oh yeah, and there was nothing happened to Jussie. There should have been jail time for Jussie, at least. But of course there was nothing. But hey, it is what it is. It's Chicago, MAGA country, right? I can't tell. You know, looks like soft on crime country. Looks like loot a store and get rewarded with a slap on the wrist country. But I'll move on. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And we got quite a few more things on deck. Reparations. This is something that's really big right now. I'm going to give my views on that. And I'm going to give my views on that, and then I'm going to get to the video from San Francisco. Now, San Francisco says they're going to give black residents reparations, and the dollar amounts are all over the place. Ridiculous dollar amounts. Now, first, let's look up something. Let's look up a statistic, shall we? I'm Googling San Francisco black population. There's only 44,930 black people in San Francisco, according to the 2020 census. Okay. So that accounts for about 5.1% of the country, compared to about 12.8% of the entire. That's only about 5.1% of the city, compared to about 12.8 or so percent of the country. So there's a lot less black folks in San Fran population percentage wise than there is in the country on average. Okay. So for them, there is some kind of council, some kind of board where they recommend certain things. Now, I'm going to get to that in a minute, but let's just talk about this issue in general, reparations. I think if it was going to happen, it should have happened back at the end of slavery. And it should have been from the federal government. So if the government ends slavery and they say, okay, we're going to get former slaves back on their feet, there should have been something that happened right then and there at that moment, right when it ended. Or maybe a little while afterward, where some of the slaves, the former slaves, are still alive and able to, be kicking. Not 160 years later, talking about, yeah, let's do X, Y, and Z. Not in a place like California where there was no slavery. And now they want to extend the issue of slavery to Jim Crow, segregation, other things that are not related to slavery at all. So San Fran, if you are a black citizen and you live there, you're able to get a few things per this board. And what did they say? So they said $5 million per black resident, maybe per black family. I think I saw per black resident, $5 million in cash per black resident, $97,000 per year in UBI for 250 years, 250 years of UBI of $97,000. Not sure where that came from. What else? They said that you will have all your debt wiped away. And if you want a home, you could buy a home in San Fran for $1. What's the median household value in San Fran? Like $1 million? Hold on. Let me just find this right quick. Median house value, San Francisco. Let's see what that is. So the average San Fran home value is $1.2 million. How are you going to find a house for $1 anywhere in the city limits? You could be way out in Oakland or beyond Vallejo, somewhere like, you're going to be way out off in the basically Oregon or Idaho, Nevada somewhere. You won't be in San Fran. So that's what's going on. Now, let me play a video right quick so you guys can see what's happening at these city council meetings. And before I play it, I think that they're not going to do this. They always talk about stuff like this, and it's been going on for years. They've been having the same conversation for 100 years, and it never gets anywhere. It never goes anywhere because that's not the purpose. The purpose is to talk about it, to give out promises, and then don't deliver. It's like a man, Joe Biden, on a whole debt relief thing for student loans. It's the same thing as reparations. Oh, yeah, man, you know what? Check it out. Vote for me. I'll forgive your student loans. First, it was like $10,000 in student loan debt relief. Then it was like $50,000. That was a rumor that was kind of floating out there. It never was going to be either one, but all they really kind of affirmed was $10,000. $50,000, that was a pie in the sky. That was a dream. And guess what? Nothing happened. People were trying to apply for it. And if people I knew were trying to do this, I'm like, look, it's not going to happen. You can apply for it all you want to, but you're not going to get it. It's not going to happen. And of course, it didn't happen because it's all about the promise. If you're able to dangle the carrot in front of somebody, hey, you know what? Student loan relief, reparations, X, Y, and Z. I'm not racist. I'm not Donald Trump. They dangle that carrot in front of you. And then what they do? Give $100 billion to Ukraine so they can fight a proxy war against Russia for us. Okay. Give everybody else some money. Meanwhile, try to buy some eggs. Did you know that when you voted for Joe Biden, you couldn't go buy eggs anymore at the regular price? Did you know eggs would be the equivalent of diamonds and gold? But anyway, here is oh yeah, and by the way, it's today St. Patrick's Day. Did I miss it? I'm not really sure. I have on green by accident. And you know what? This kind of ties into what's happening right now on reparations. I almost forgot this part. If we're going to talk about reparations today, and it's about black folks, who qualifies as black? What makes you a black person? Now, when I ask that question to some people, they kind of get offended. They get upset. And the reason why they get upset is because they've not been able to answer that question. Is there going to be a DNA test to determine who's black or not? And what percentage black must you have? If you are a certain percentage black, must you have ancestry that only is of U.S., nothing else, for the past 200 years? Because let's say, for example, you're like me. My 2 times great-grandfather was Irish, like straight Irish. Irish name. I saw a picture of him. He looked like Lou Holtz or somebody. Like, I'm not lying. I'm being dead serious. I was at my grandma's house, like I said in the video. I was at my grandma's house, and we're going through pictures. And then my aunt takes a picture. It's like, hey, that's your great-great-grandfather or 2 times great-grandfather, a whole white man. I was like, that white man, my grandfather? My uncle was right. He busts out laughing. My uncle just died laughing because nobody ever really said that he was a white man. They said he was Irish. But it's like, ain't that what Irish is white? Anyway, so if I have that in my ancestry, am I not black no more? But you can see me clearly black. I'm clearly black, but if I got that in my ancestry, am I not black anymore? What about somebody like Drew Barrymore, who I'll get to in a minute? Let's say she has a 2 times great grandfather that's black. Is she now white? Is she black? Does she count in the black? How does that really work? You got a lot of people that want reparations that if you did a DNA test, it might be a little fishy. It might be about 30% black, and then the rest, whatever, Native American and white and everything else. So, like I said, it would have been better if you were able to determine who was a former slave at the time when slavery ended, to not even have to do with all this stuff about where's your ancestry? Can you track your great-great-great-grandma? What percentage black are you? Are you white? Are you Indian? Are you Asian? Are you X, Y, and Z, whatever? Because by this time, most black Americans and some white Americans in general, most of us are not 100% one thing. We're not. So it's kind of a weird thing. Yep. Oh yeah, the beard. Hey, I'm Irish, right? Hey, I'm gonna start claiming that. It's like, look, man, put me on a I want to have a late night talk show like my Irish brothers, Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, all these guys. Okay, give me a name to start with Mick Logan. How about that? Anthony McBrien McLogan. That's my new name. And I want all the privileges. I want to be able to go to Boston and drink beer for free. I'm gonna do all that. But anyway, I digress. Here's the video.
San Francisco, a reparations proposal to give $5 million to every eligible black person appears to be gaining support. At a city hearing yesterday, residents added their voices to the debate.
It is time for you to do the right thing and provide us with the reparations. Make us whole. Make us important in your lives. Black lives matter. You have an opportunity to demonstrate this today.
The San Francisco Board of Supervisors voiced enthusiastic support for more than 100 recommendations made by a city-appointed reparations committee. Other recommendations include guaranteeing annual incomes of at least $97,000 and homes in San Francisco for $1 a family. The committee submits a final report in June. It has not analyzed the cost of the proposals, but the conservative Hoover Institution says San Franciscans of other races would have to pay at least $600,000 per family. It's a complicated.
Did you hear that? So there was no consideration about the cost. They said it'd cost non-black families in San Fran $600,000 per family to pay for that. I mean, come on. Like, what are we even doing?
Issue.
The question of who pays is really at the heart of it.
But they're really considering $5 million for
Yeah.
a black person?
That's the proposal.
That's a lot of money.
$97K per year, and then
Wow.
housing for $1 per family. I mean, I always quote Heather McGee on this, who says history has a way of ending up in your bank account, and she's 100% right. You know, there's a reason why black families have 1/10 of the wealth, generally speaking, than white families. But it's not because of San Francisco policy, it's because of federal policy and the actions of our government on behalf of all citizens. So it's good that locally they're thinking about this, and you've covered this locally.
Yeah, and real estate and banking institutions, it's pervasive throughout.
But really, it's a national issue. We do need national leaders to step up.
For sure. It'll be interesting to see how this.
See, guys like this, when they say they support stuff like this, they support it only in the way it's being spoken about right now, a proposal, a plan that will never actually come to fruition. You see, if he lives in San Fran, he's a taxpayer, and they call upon him to have to pay for this through his taxes. If they say to you, hey, sir, you're a white guy in San Fran, and we need to raise your taxes, pay for this whole thing we got going on with reparations, we're charging you over $500,000 to do it. You want to do it? Nope. I support the idea, but I don't really want to do it. That's how they are. You see, they support these kind of ideas. It makes them feel good. It kind of relieves the white guilt they got. But when it comes to actually doing it, they don't want to do it. It's just kind of silly. I don't support this at all, and I'm not going to pretend to support a thing I don't really support like these guys will do.
Policy and the actions of our government
plays out. And
like I said, if you were going to do this, you should have done it when slavery ended. And I saw somewhere they said Japanese reparations. Well, the Japanese, they were able to identify who was harmed at that time when it happened, not 100 years later, going back and then finding who has Japanese ancestry, if their great grandfathers were involved with it. You should have done it right when it happened, as has been the case with other people. It's simple. It's not difficult to understand. Like I've already said that from the beginning. But I digress. So that's what that is. But yeah, San Fran, a lot of these leftist woke places will propose things like this, and it'll never happen. This has been going on in San Fran for years and years and years and years and years. And years. That's all. And it's just that simple. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. And then they say something about the whole, hold on. They say something about, wait a minute. I'm going to play it one more time because I didn't quite catch that on the replay.
Housing for $1 per family. I mean, I always quote Heather McGee on this, who says history has a way of ending up in your bank account, and she's 100% right.
$100,000.
Who pays is really at the heart of it.
But they're really considering $5 million for
Yeah.
a black person?
That's the proposal.
That's a lot of money.
$97K per year, and then
Wow.
housing for $1 per family. I mean, I always quote Heather McGee on this, who says history has a way of ending up in your bank account.
Let's get to it, sir.
And she's 100% right. You know, there's a reason why black families have 1/10 of the wealth, generally speaking, than white families.
Okay, so that's that right there. Black families have 1/10 of the wealth of black families. What does that really mean? Who are we including in that? Are we including Bill Gates, Elon Musk? Because let's talk about things in reality. There's not that much of a difference between the median income for blacks and for whites, actually. And when you see the median income for males in the U.S., we're at about 35,000. Not families, but individual males, about 35,000 median income. And what that means is median is not the same thing as average. Even if you saw average, it wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't be that much different. But median, for you guys that don't know, a lot of you guys, of course, do know, if you put all incomes on a sheet of paper in America from zero to Bill Gates, if you put all the incomes on a sheet of paper and you land right in the middle, that's the median. 33,000 for males, about 25,000 for females. So when you're talking about black families, 1/10 of the wealth of white families, who are we talking about? Are we including Bill Gates, Elon Musk, guys that got billions upon billions of billions of billions of dollars? Or are we talking about your regular, everyday middle class person? We're talking about regular, everyday people, black, white, whatever. It's not that much of a gap. But you got to say stuff like that to just drive your point home and to get that white guilt up off of you. It's simple. It is simple. All right. But let me keep on going here. And it say, don't cut ABL a check or ABJ. How are you going to say ABJ when you can clearly see my name right here? Let's focus on reading and writing. Focus on reading and writing rather than trying to get a check from your own tax money. How does it make sense to get your own taxes raised to get money from taxes? I rather would just not pay so much taxes as a regular law-abiding citizen, regardless of what my race is. Okay? How about abolish the IRS? How about that? That'd be great for all Americans, regardless of what color you are. But anyway, I'll keep on moving here. There's quite a bit going on. There is quite a bit happening. So the Oscars happened. I'm not going to really focus on that too much, but I saw this video from Jamie Lee Curtis. Now, she won an Oscar for, I guess, Best Supporting Actress in the movie, and it was a weird movie. I didn't watch the movie. I saw a clip of it, and it had hot dogs for fingers, literally. It was really weird. It wasn't a cartoon. It was like a live action movie with CGI effects. Very strange. But anyway, so she won the Oscar, and then she did an interview on, CBS? And wait till you hear what she said about her Oscar.
Hey, oh, look at this. Here they are.
Have we named her? What's her?
I'm in support of my daughter Ruby. I'm having them be a they them.
Oh.
I'm gonna just call them they them, and they are doing great, and they're settling in. In my life, I never thought in a million years that I would have this couple days, and I'm very, very moved by the whole thing. Hey.
Oh, look at.
So yeah, she has named her Oscar a they them after her daughter. Now, I saw a picture of the daughter in question. Okay, I saw a picture, and since I saw the picture, You got to see it too. Now, I don't know a lot about this person, so I'm not trying to harass, really. Maybe this person got some kind of mental problem. I don't know what's going on. But, okie dokie. Are you guys ready? You ready? Okay. I got two pictures. I'm gonna try to put the person in the best light possible. All right. Now it won't be anything that's LGBT. I'm sorry. It won't be anything that's inappropriate for kids to see. Put it to you like that. Right. Let's check it out. So that's Jamie Lee Curtis on the left, obviously, and that is the daughter, quote unquote, on the right, holding hands with Jamie Lee Curtis. I don't know about y'all, but I see George Conway. I see John Lovitz. All right, hold on, check it out. And that is another picture. Now, I don't know what in the world is happening here. Maybe there's like some kind of disability. I'm not here to judge, but this is the daughter that she was referring to in the speech. All right. Like I said, I don't know if we got some kind of mental problems or what's happening, so don't shoot me. I'm just giving you guys information, right? I'm just letting you know what's going on. All right. So that's that. That is that. All right. Bret the Hitman Hart is hilarious. You guys are wild. That is hilarious. Yeah, get therapy. That is no child. That is a whole 45-year-old man. The guy, he probably is my age or older. Let me just look right here. Because understand, Jamie Lee Curtis is about 65 years old. She is older than my mother. So, I don't think her children are young. She has two kids, Ruby and Annie. So that person is 27 years old. It's not a child. It's a fully grown adult. Age 27. Looks much older than that, but I'm not here to judge. All right. So, and Ruby was adopted. So that's just that. And I have no more to say. Yeah. So she is 65, Jamie Lee Curtis, and the son, daughter, whatever the pronouns are, is 27. And her other child is, let me see, her other child is Annie Guest. And I think that's her actual daughter. She is my age, 36. I'm a little bit older than her, but she's right around my same age, which makes sense. All right, hold on. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Polaris. I ain't gonna repeat that, but I do see what you're saying. I do agree with that for sure. All right, but we got more to talk about. I'll move on away from Ruby. I'm gonna get to some more content here, and we got quite a few things on that. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Now, speaking of cringe, I have some more cringe for you. I love cringe stuff occasionally. I don't like watching the pimple shows, but I might get into it. I got to get that cringe factor in there. You know what I'm saying? Not anything too gross, but just cringe, a little uncomfortable. And speaking of cringe, we got to get to Drew Barrymore. Speaking of cringe and Hollywood actresses, Drew Barrymore. Now, Drew Barrymore, a lot of you guys told me that she had a pretty rough childhood, that she was pretty much forced into the Hollywood life, exposed to drugs at a young age. I didn't know anything about that. So that's unfortunate that she was exposed to those things at a very young age. Speaking about Drew Barrymore, that is. But she is an actress, obviously, been around for a long time. She was in E.T. back in the day, back in the 80s. She was in Charlie's Angels. She's been in a few movies. Very well-known person. Now, she has a daytime talk show, and she brought this person on named Dylan Mulvaney. Now, Dylan Mulvaney is a corporate actress or actor, a corporate actor. And what I mean by that is this person rose from relative obscurity doing TikToks, documenting this person being, I guess, transgender. I don't know what the pronouns are. I really don't particularly care. All I see is some big basketball player that got injured and decided to become an LGBT superstar on TikTok, but I digress. So this person rose to fame by having these TikToks that would say day 85 of being the girl, day 500 of being the girl, just prancing around doing dumb stuff. Basically, a biological XY male that now identifies as something else. So this person went on Drew Barrymore's show and things got very cringe very quickly. So let's watch this video and be warned, the cringe factor, if you've not seen it yet, the cringe factor is on 10. Let's check it out.
Let me ask you about the negativity. How have you dealt with it? And what's an approach you take? What's your self-talk? What do you filter?
Yes.
How do you...
I still read the comments, but there is so much hatred directed at the trans community right now. It's everywhere. And I think the greatest weapon that I can contribute is trans joy. And
I mean, look, anybody hating on the trans community, it's just a matter of, we don't want people, especially because, when I see trans people on television and there's always some kind of fight for rights or something like that, it's always the male to female, the Leah Thomas, Bruce Jenner, all these people, is always male to female. But the opposite also exists. Why don't I ever see the female to male lobbying to play men's sports? Why don't I see the female to male lobbying to use the men's restrooms? I saw that one time with this big bull dagger, about 5'10", 200 pounds. Of course, they're going to say, let me go in the boys' room because she could pretty much beat up a lot of the boys in there. Not quite, but still. I'm not trying to fight no 280-pound, 5'10" woman, okay? That's like beating up Juggernaut from X-Men. You punching and it ain't nothing going on. All that fat is absorbing them blows, just like punching a pound of clay. It's a mess. But anyway, you don't really see the female to male trans people on television clamoring for rights, but you see the opposite, the male to female, because obviously they want to be able to intrude upon women's spaces. Men are hunters of women, not in the. I gotta rephrase that because I don't want nobody to take that the wrong way. Men are hardwired to pursue women, right? In a respectful way, in a chivalrous, consenting, non-threatening way. Be clear. I'm dead serious when I say that. But some of these guys have had their minds twisted so much to where they have realized that they can become a woman, quote unquote, and have greater access to women that way. That's why you see so many of the male to female trans on television clamoring for rights. That's why. And we're against that kind of stuff. If you just want to dress up however you want to dress up and do your own thing, live your life like everybody else, so what? Okay? If I see some big 6'8" drag queen in the men's restroom, I ain't tripping. You got your twig and berries, do your business. I'm over here doing my thing. You do your thing. Do not peek over the stall at me and we'll be good money. Simple. It's simple. I'm not trying to have a young lady be in the restroom with me. That's going to be uncomfortable for me personally. I don't want anybody to try to say I did something. And I wouldn't want, if I had any daughters, for some big Hollywood Hulk Hogan looking dude with a tutu on in there with him. That's not going to happen. I'm going to have my gun out ready to hurt somebody if I see that going on. If I go to Buc-ee's or somewhere like that, right? And I'm at the front of the spot where the bathroom is, and it diverges left women's, right men's. And I see Bret the Hitman Hart, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Ricky Steamboat, hats off Jim Duggan, take that left, talking about some, I'm a trans, my gun is out. You are not going to go in there and come close to one of my girls. It ain't going to happen. But I digress.
Comedy and talking about hard, subjects and really intricate moments of a transition and try to let everybody in to see that, I'm not a monster. I'm not somebody that, is trying to do anything but be myself and be happy.
And look, see that right there? That's the problem. All the trained SEALs in the audience clapping, these suburban, regular, normie moms, that's the problem right there. See, that's why this stuff is happening, because they applaud that kind of, they think it's okay. So the gay bestie that normally would just go shopping with you and you could just talk to them all day and not expect to have any kind of aggression, the male aggression, nothing extra. It can be platonic. That guy has now become something else. He's become something else altogether, but they still see him as that same guy they could just talk to about girl stuff and he won't be anything extra.
Love ya.
Thank you, everybody, for that support. How do you stay on your own path? Where do you draw boundaries? Where do you find the strength to...
Do you see the size difference, or is it just me? I thought maybe I'm tripping, but this guy looking like Xerxes from 300. He's humongous. Drew Barrymore is 5'4". How tall or big is this guy, Dylan Mulvaney? You're looking like Vlade Divac before he was on the Trailblazers, back in the European basketball days. You're looking like Luka Doncic, Vlade Divac, Detlef Schrempf. You're looking like Steve Kerr in the 1996 finals. Okay, I'm passing you the rock, drain the three. This is crazy. Why would I think that this person right here is biological XX? Why would I think that? What size shoes are those? Where'd you get those? From Champs, from Foot Locker? What's going, DXL? Okay, I'm getting triggered.
To keep being the joy?
Well, I think having my chosen family and the people that I love to take care of me. But I also think there's something just about making sure that you don't put something out there before you're ready, and really just surrounding yourself with good people. It's interesting because I look at someone like you and I can't imagine anybody disliking you.
Oh, please. Do you want to know?
This right here. Now, I've been told this is like a feature of her show, but I don't care. This is beyond cringe. Even the audience. This right here. So it took a biological XY male to dress up as a woman to get the matriarchy to submit to the patriarchy. That's crazy.
Ironically, who dislikes me the most sometimes?
Who?
Myself.
Oh, me too. Oh. And
is this what women watch in the daytime? Is that what they, I ain't gonna say women, you guys in the chat, you women in the chat are not gonna watch this. Is this what they cater to women in the daytime? Is that what they want women to watch during the daytime hours? This is crazy. Why are you guys on the ground? There's chairs right there for a reason. Get back in the chair. See that right there? Get back in the chair.
But I guess, you've asked me now, you've asked me, what I would do to combat the hate, right?
Yeah.
But what do you do?
Okay, that's a great question. Now,
You've been doing it a little longer than I have.
Well, it's funny because when I was a kid,
look at the size difference, though. Look at the head. I mean, this is crazy. This is completely ridiculous.
You starting with E.T., it was the first time I was introduced to film reviews, which are basically social media.
Yes.
But I felt like all these reviews, and it could be a Charlie's Angels, it could be an E.T., it could be The Wedding Singer, everything in between. If you read reviews, just like on social media.
Okay, that's enough of that. That's enough of that. There's more. There's like a minute left, but we pretty much get the idea. This is Xerxes from 300. Arvydas Sabonis, Vlade Divac, a European basketball player. Manu Ginobili. Oh, man. Anyway, I digress. Y'all know what's going on. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. that person has now been elevated to this high status because of their orientation. This person, oh, okay, I'm a male, now I identify as a female, now I become rich and famous. That's kind of how that goes. But why? I think that there's an agenda, there's a clear agenda. Like I said, if somebody wants to be that, then that's their business, but I'm against the agenda. And speaking about agendas, shout out to my main man, Ron DeSantis, for putting the kibosh on that a little bit. Now, Hyatt Regency Miami, right there in downtown, right by Brickell. I've been there before. I've been to Brickell, and then this hotel is right across the bridge. It's like right there, basically in the same area, but technically it's downtown Miami. Anyway, the Hyatt Regency Miami has their liquor license revoked for a drag show involving children. Now, here's what happened. The drag show was advertised as a all ages welcome when it first was announced. And it was going to be on Christmas, like right around, like not on Christmas Day, but like on the 27th of December. So basically a quote unquote holiday drag show. And they said at first they were going to have kids there if they wanted to be there. Babies, toddlers, whatever. The typical drag queen story time stuff. Now, why? Hold on. Before I continue, somebody's catching my attention in the comments. Somebody says, please tell me you're going to play that new Popeyes It's Ma'am clip next. I have not seen that. Let me just cue it up right quick, and then I'm going to get right back to... Hold on. I'm going to get right back to the story I was just on. And we're going to keep on rocking. Okay, wait. Okay, I got it. I got it queued up. I will play that in a minute. Y'all give me a second. I'm going to talk about this right here, and I'm going to get right back into that one. I already got it queued up and favored it and everything else, so y'all hang tight. But back to what I was saying. So there was a drag queen storytime type show, actual performance at a hotel. And they were going to have kids present if they wanted to be present. So when the government of Florida in Tallahassee, when they found out, they sent the people that organized the show and maybe even the hotel a warning letter. Hey, we see you guys are having an event, a drag queen event. As per Florida law, you cannot have children present. There's going to be lewd activities going on, adult activities going on, just like having kids in the strip club. You cannot do this. They sent them a warning, and they changed the language on the website to say recommended 18 and up. Now, if I go get a gun from a gun store, I go to Bob's gun store, right? Are they going to say, hey, recommended you have your ID, recommended you be over 18, recommended you got to pass your background check? No, it's required. You got to have your ID, you got to pass the background check, you got to have your money. You must have certain things. So, of course, what ended up happening was the drag show happens and kids are there with quote unquote chaperones, their parents. So, as a result of them refusing to listen to the warning from the state government, the license of the hotel to sell alcohol had been revoked. So, that's how you combat a lot of this stuff, this drag queen story time stuff. You, first of all, enforce existing laws. Since when was it even a debate about a drag queen show being adult entertainment? If drag queens want to entertain adults that want to go there, that's their business. I'm not going to go to a drag queen show. I'm not going to say you can't go if you're an adult. Knock yourself out. Ain't my cup of tea. I'm not even really, I don't even really like regular strip clubs, for real. I like to just kind of, be over here doing my own thing. I rather would go do something more wholesome, be totally honest with you. Go to a museum. I'm not really into that kind of stuff, but I can't force how I live on other people, okay? If you want to go eat chicken wings with some girl right here gyrating on you, knock yourself out. I'm not really into that. I prefer to eat my food without stuff all in my face. Just not a fan. I'm not going to tell you can't do it. However, I think we all agree that kids should be left out of the equation. But a lot of these people, they have an ulterior motive. They want to groom the kids because they want them to be recruited into the lifestyle. That's what's going on. They want to recruit them at a young age because they want to do things with them at a young age. And then when they grow up, they want them to already be accepting and part of the lifestyle. It's simple. And it shouldn't be going on. It's called grooming. Now, I have a video, actually. I think I have a news report of that. And it's going to be a little bit graphic. It won't show anything, but it has some graphic language. So y'all be ready for it. If you got little babies watching, cover their ears. And you know what? Here's an example of why they should not allow kids at a drag show. You guys, I don't got to convince you guys. You guys understand this. What I'm saying is just basic common sense. But if I have to warn you about graphic language, if you got kids watching this show right now, I got to warn you about it. Think about the kids that are actually there seeing this kind of stuff. Way too much, way too graphic. All right, here's a news report.
Right now, the Hyatt Regency in Miami could soon be cut dry. The state of Florida has revoked its liquor license for hosting a drag queen performance where kids were present, violating existing state law. And Local 10's Cody Weddle live now in Miami with a sudden crackdown. Cody.
And Calvin, the DeSantis administration is saying that the Hyatt hosted a highly sexualized drag queen performance with children present, and they say that violates. The decision comes after the hotel hosted this event.
So that was the event right there. See this right here, a drag queen Christmas on December 27th, 8 p.m. And that was it. So I guess the hotel has a convention center in it. So that's why the hotel lost liquor license, because they hosted it by way of the center inside their hotel.
After the hotel hosted this event titled A Drag Queen Christmas on December 27th. In a 17-page complaint, the state agency accuses the business of allowing children into the event. When Tallahassee became aware of the pending show, officials sent this letter warning that, quote, sexually explicit drag show performances constitute public nuisances, lewd activity, and disorderly conduct when minors are in attendance.
So that was a warning letter they sent to them at first, because they caught wind of the performance about to happen. It hadn't happened yet. So they sent them a warning like, hey, you guys, how you want to have kids at this event? Here's a warning. Do not have children there because you're going to violate existing Florida law.
While event organizers then changed the information online, recommending it only for adults, minors accompanied by adults were still allowed to attend.
So this, minors are there. All right. Little kids right there at the actual event.
Allowed to attend. The complaint alleges that children witnessed, quote, performers forcibly penetrating or rubbing their exposed prosthetic female breasts against the faces or
Okay, so again, like I said, it's graphic as far as the language. Now you guys can see what's going on there. That should not happen in front of children, period, point blank. So of course, the right move was made to revoke their liquor license. To revoke the liquor license of Hyatt Regency Miami right there downtown, right by Brickell Avenue. Yeah. So DeSantis, shout out to him for doing the right thing, for getting involved that way. We need more guys to fight back in that way, because if we don't have guys to fight back that way, the agenda of those people, it'll just happen. Their agenda will flourish, and we can't do anything about it. We can't really fight back in a serious way if we just let them have their way. All right. I told you guys, I see a bunch of vomit emojis. I told y'all it was graphic. I really did. I tried to warn you. So imagine if you were seeing that right there in real time. Imagine if little kids were there seeing that in real time. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. And I see a comment. They say, my accent is not Nigerian. Oh, yes, it is. My daughter, it is Nigerian, huh? I am Nigerian today. You, my friend, you are not Nigerian. I am Nigerian. I'm from Edo State. Idiot, you cannot tell me my accent is not Nigerian, huh? Anyway, I'll move right along. I got to show you guys this clip right here of the "It's Ma'am" at Popeyes. Let's so this the caption right here, and I've not seen this yet. This is the very first time I'm going to lay eyes on it for you guys. One of you guys in the comments said that there was a new video out, so now it's time to go ahead and watch it. The caption says, "It's Ma'am," or "It Is Ma'am," the sequel. Man has public freak out that fast food employees call him sir. All right, let's check it out.
Here, it's like every single day, you guys, and this is what I complain about all the time. Look, what's his name? What's your name?
My name's
Alex?
Tommy.
Yeah, your name's Alex, and I'm gonna be talking to your manager. This guy called me sir. How do you get this happens every fucking day?
Okay. We got a little bit of cussing. I'm sorry.
Everywhere I go, I get called sir. I'm so fucking tired. Why would you call a chick big ass tits?
Whoa. Whoa, wait a minute. Wait just a minute. Whoa. I was not ready for that. Hey, as long as we see no nudity, I'm cool, but I ain't trying to see all that, sir. I ain't trying to see what you got going on up top. Man. You need to go ahead and cover that up, man. Put a bulletproof vest on or something. Whoa, sir. Okay. Man, look. I see a really high camera angle. You probably a good 6'5". You built like Peyton Manning. Okay, you could be a pocket passer, 300 yards a game, no problem. You're built like Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning. Who else? My man from the Packers. What's Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning, Eli? You built like Tom Brady. You a whole NFL quarterback right now. Talking about some of this, ma'am, sir. Are you for real? Wow. All right. I got to stop doing that. I got to stop watching videos without watching them first. Okay. Let me just kind of skim through that right quick.
What? Did you call me sir again? What was that? You said goodnight, sir? Alex, I'm going to be talking to corporate about you, you motherfucker. Fuck you. Okay? That's bullshit.
All right. It's too much cussing. I can't really play that. I mean, look. You know one way that you could convince somebody that you're actually a woman? One way you could convince people that you are indeed a woman is by not having so much male aggression. All that male aggression. It's ma'am. It's like, sir, you are one heartbeat away from a brawl fight, from a bar fight. When I said brawl fight, one step away from a bar fight. You about to take a bottle, bust it on the table, and stab somebody with it. Streets of Rage, Mortal Kombat. Like you're a whole backyard fighter with the aggression. Women don't really do that. You're 6'5", full of aggression, trying to fight. I see a man. All right, but anyway, yeah, road rage. All that anger can be directed into Muay Thai or something like that. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You could be a police officer or something like that, but rather than doing that, you want to take hormones and mess your brain up and be out here trying to flash your stuff. Ain't nobody trying to see that, man. Ain't nobody trying to see that. Put a shirt on. Cover that up, man. I promise I'm not trying to see that no more. No, I'll call the police on you for indecent exposure. Real talk. But anyway, I was not prepared for that. Oh, my goodness. What in the world is happening? Yeah. You guys give me good videos sometimes, but that was not a good recommendation. I don't want to see that ever again in my life. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And here's a clip that I have seen that I can screen for you guys. It's very short, and this is a big problem in Florida. Well, it's a big problem that happened in Florida, but it represents a problem that's all over the country. So this person, I'm not sure where that is, but listen to this person and what they're saying.
You are erasing our trans babies. You are erasing our trans babies. You are erasing our trans babies.
You are erasing our trans babies. What does that mean? How can a baby be trans? How can a baby be trans though? Like, what? How does a baby, like I said before, if the baby goo-goos or gagas the wrong way, you're going to say, oh, the baby's trans. The baby cannot communicate. The baby does not know what's going on in the world. The baby can't even keep his own head up without your support. That the baby is just trying to figure out where he or she is at. How you going to say a baby is transgender? If you say a baby is trans, you are an abuser. You should get put on the list. You should have the federales come scoop you up, because that's you saying that. The baby will only be able to say or do what they are being exposed to. The baby cannot learn English without being around people that speak English. That's the only way. The baby not going to go on TikTok and download Duolingo and learn English. The baby only has guidance from the parents, period. There is no such thing as a trans baby. You could be an adult and think you're transgender. That's your prerogative. That doesn't mean you actually are. I've not seen anybody come up with some kind of medical study that says there's a hormone for being transgender, or not a hormone, but a chromosome for being transgender. Okay. You can have Down syndrome and have chromosomes for that, obviously, but nothing about being transgender. That's a mental thing only. You may feel like you're comfortable in that skin or not. That's your decision as an adult you should make, not as a baby. You can't even decide what you're going to eat or how to dress. Just like, come on. This is crazy. Yeah, they're absolutely crazy, Valerie Walker. 100%. They are nuts. But I have more for you guys. I'm going to keep on rocking and rolling here. There's a whole lot happening. Oh, let's go ahead and talk about your man Joe, Creepy Joe, talking about the bank bailout. Yeah, I can't forget about that one. Now, this is a bank bailout. They might not want to admit it. They might not want to say it, but it is a bank bailout. So here's what happened. Let's talk about Silicon Valley Bank. And somebody said it right there. Rebel without a reason. They bees. Exactly. They bees. What is a they bee? A baby, a boy or a girl. Pink blanket or blue blanket. It's very simple. It's not rocket science. It is not rocket surgery or brain science. But anyway, speaking about Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank, these two banks were bailed out by the federal government. Now, the Biden administration will say that they weren't bailed out, but here's what happened. So Silicon Valley Bank, a woke bank, made bad business moves. And as a result of their business moves and the rising interest rates, came up short on capital they needed in order to stay afloat. And as a result, they failed. Now, the FDIC, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, insures all bank accounts in the U.S. of up to $250,000. So if you have anything up to $250,000 in your account, you will be insured by the FDIC. Now, you might not get your money for a while. Let's say you have all your money in your life in one bank account, one place. And you know what? I foresaw this coming. That's why my money is not in one place. It's all over the place. And where I spend money, I don't have money. If that makes any sense. I don't spend any money from my debit card. I only spend from my credit card. I don't spend from my debit card. And the debit card I have on file, the debit card I do have, if I need it, is not where my actual money is. I got like 8 accounts. I have a lot of different accounts all over the place. You would never find it. So, because I know how this works. I'm not some filthy rich guy, but I'm also not a moron. If, let's say, for example, you're a regular normie, you don't have $250,000, you don't have $10,000. You might got $2-3 grand in the bank account, right? Like a regular person. If your bank collapses, you'll be insured the money, but the question is, when are you going to get it? 30 days, 60 days, a year? If there's litigation going on, you might not get it back for a long time. Try to deal with the federal government. Try to call the IRS right now and get them on the phone for your tax return. You gave the government money, basically a zero interest loan, and they gave it back to you. Try getting that back in a timely fashion. So you think you won't get your money back from your bank account, from the FDIC, from the same government in a timely fashion? Good luck with that. But anyway, I knew this could happen anyway, so I was already prepared for it. Now, luckily, my banks didn't crash. They could have. Silicon Valley Bank crashes. The majority of the deposits, 94%, were not insured by the FDIC. Why? Because the majority of the bank accounts and the deposits were from businesses, big corporations, small business, etc., not from regular normies. You're not going to go in a Silicon Valley Bank with $2,000 talking about, yeah, can I get a free checking account? That's not really going on. It's venture capitalists, Silicon Valley, venture cap, like all kind of stuff like that over there. It's not regular mom and pop. It ain't regular people just put money in there. It ain't like Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo. It's not a normie bank. So when they fail, the issue is companies cannot pay their employees their paychecks because the money that they had was in the bank in one account. Dumb, right? I know that's dumb, but a lot of these people that run these companies don't know it's dumb. Anyway, so what did the government do? Rather than the limit being $250,000 and having the majority of all the accounts go kaput, most of the money not being accessible, rather than that happening, they said, okay, we're going to insure all the money in there with no limit. And they said that the insurance of all the cash with no limit, rather than the $250,000 that's no limit, they said that would not be burdened upon the taxpayer to pay for it. So he's saying there won't be a bailout. In 2008, if you guys remember, the bailout was $700 billion, and that was given to Wells Fargo, Bank of America, et cetera, the big banks, so they wouldn't collapse. This is not that, but it's the same thing, because if you're going to insure all the money, it's going to come from the taxpayer. They say the money will come from the fees that banks pay to the FDIC already. But if the limit was $250,000 and now there's no limit, how can the fund sustain that? And other banks are going to look at that and be like, oh, okay, there's no limit on the FDIC. We could just wheel and deal. We can get some securities. We can make really big risks financially, and it won't be a problem if we fail because we'll get bailed out by the FDIC. That's what's happening. It's going to be much more risky moves, much more sneaky underhand type stuff to get a leg up on the competition. And if you're not doing that kind of thing, the next bank will. So it forces them all to behave the same way. When you change the rules, guys play the game differently. Here's a little clip right here that kind of breaks it down a little bit more. As far as what I was saying about the whole thing with the FDIC and the money and whatnot. Hold on. NKM says SVB gave BLM $73 million in donations. Oh yeah. Speaking about BLM, a quick side note. I saw a number today that says that BLM got like $80 billion from corporations. $80 billion. So reparations, BLM, where has any of the BLM money gone to help the so-called black community? You got $80 billion. Where has one red cent gone to help the so-called black community? I'll wait. Unless you mean the black community, meaning Patrice Cullors' bank account and a real estate portfolio. Yeah, it helped them. It helped the BLM leaders get real estate. Okay, a $10 million real estate portfolio. Help them go on vacations and get cars and bags and shoes and purses. Yeah, it helped them get that. What about the so-called community? What about the black people in the name Black Lives Matter? What about them? It's funny because at the open hearing in San Francisco about reparations, lady said Black Lives Matter. She said that in the meeting, but the people of BLM who live right there in California didn't give her $1. It's so dumb. You raise your own tax bill, your tax burden, and San Fran to get the money right back in reparations. But people that raise the money independently from donations for you, allegedly, you won't ask them for $1. Make that make sense. $80 billion. Hold on. Before I get to the whole thing about Silicon Valley Bank, can I go back to BLM right quick? Can I find that? Okay, yeah, check it out. Check it out. Watch this. Daily Wire. New analysis. This is from today or yesterday, pardon me. New analysis. Corporate America has donated $82 billion to BLM related causes so far. $82 billion. Where has any of that money gone to help the so-called black community? Reparations is right there. $82 billion. That's plenty of money. Where is it gone to help anything? It's so dumb. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. It's so silly. I'm going to do a video on that, actually. I'm going to save that for later. I'm going to save that one because that right there, I'm triggered. I'm beyond triggered at that. Let's go back to Silicon Valley Bank. Roll the clip.
You know, this whole idea, again, that the taxpayer is not going to pay for it, where is the FDIC going to get all of this money? And okay, maybe they don't charge higher fees, but that's most likely what's going to happen. There's a 99% chance that that's exactly what they're going to do. But even if they didn't do that, you know, they can, like they did in 2009, go to the Treasury and just get additional money, in which case taxpayers have to pay for that because it's an expense of the Treasury. Or maybe the Fed just turns around and prints the money, in which case it's more inflation, which is a hidden tax itself.
Exactly. That's happening right now with Silicon Valley Bank. There is one more video for you guys about Silicon Valley Bank. And you guys, when you see this, I think what's happening will make a little bit more sense. You'll see kind of like the failures and what's going on. It'll kind of all come together. All right, let's check it out right quick. And this is a repost that Sebastian Gorka put up, and his caption says, "Is this why hashtag Silicon Valley Bank crashed?" Let's check it out.
I think there's a big disparity between the investments in black-led companies than other companies.
We want to help close the Latino wealth gap. I want to be able to help them build generational wealth. I love access to innovation because of what it stands for.
Giving access to opportunities such as training, such as financing, introductions that people would not necessarily get.
This is part of an initiative that everyone is committed to, from the CEO down.
It's meaningful work that has to be done.
My name is Beatriz Acevedo.
I'm Dave Salvan, and I'm happy to be part of Access to Innovation.
So that is a commercial from Silicon Valley Bank that came out obviously before they fell apart. And at the end of it, the words say SVB, Silicon Valley Bank, is committed to advancing Black, Latinx, that's right, Latinx, changing their whole language. Since when was it okay to just change language? They've colonized Spanish because, as far as I know, Spanish is it has masculine and feminine, Latino, Latina. But anyway, Silicon Valley Bank is committed to advancing Black, Latinx, and women founders, investors, and leaders in innovation. Is this grammatically correct? Is this right? Because there's a few things wrong with this sentence. We've gotten so far down this rabbit hole of wokeness, we are changing language. This sentence is not right grammatically. It should be, first of all, lowercase black, because why would you capitalize the color? Lowercase black, lowercase Latino, not Latinx, and women founders. There should be a comma after Latin, Latino, and then the women, shouldn't that be female? Wouldn't that sound better right there in that sentence? Can I read? Am I dumb? Like, what's going on? Is it just me, or is this not right? Is this sentence improperly formed? Maybe I'm just tripping. I don't know what's going on. Grammar is racist. That's right. Grammar is racist. That is right. All right. And yeah, I heard there were bonuses they gave out. Let's see that right quick. So they got that bailout. Let's check it out. Hold on. Yep, they sure did get bonuses. Let's check it out. Hold on. I have a video actually from Andrew Ross Sorkin. Shout out to him. Let me see. Can I play that right quick? Thank you, Devin. Exactly. I knew I was not tripping. I knew that I was not properly formed. The grammar was not right on that.
Political implications, but something you just said stopped me in my tracks. Yeah, Andrew, it's Jonathan. I was just going to ask you about those political implications, but something you just said stopped me in my tracks. Did you just say that the Silicon Valley bank owners took bonuses on Friday?
That is exactly true. On Friday morning, before the FDIC took over the bank, they in fact distributed bonuses. The bonuses were scheduled to be distributed on Friday far in advance. Those bonuses were part of the 2022 year, but nonetheless, they still went out. Now, by the way, a lot of the employees at SVB had accounts at SVB, so those bonuses went to those accounts that also were in jeopardy at the time. Again, we'll see whether that money comes out. But I do think there's going to be a lot of sort of political debate about it. One note, by the way, we keep saying repeatedly, the president said it, Janet Yellen said it yesterday, that this is going to cost taxpayers nothing. For the most part, that's true with one.
It's not. Come on, Ross. Like that's not. Come on, let's stop playing games.
One little caveat: there's a $25 billion stabilization fund that the Treasury Department's putting into play here. Hopefully, it never gets tapped, but it could get tapped, and if it gets tapped, that $25 billion is taxpayer money.
Yeah, well, I certainly suspect those bonuses will be asked to be returned.
Nope, it sure won't. You know what's going to happen? You know what's happening with that? If they got a bonus and it got deposited into an SVB account, what'll happen is if that money was caught up in the bank run and it's all gone, that bonus money will be given back to them by the federal government and your tax money. Imagine that. You and I, the taxpayer, are grinding, going hard, sacrificing, doing whatever we're doing. And because of some woke, ridiculous bank with a bunch of idiots that can't even spell, they can't even form a complete sentence properly on a promo video, these morons lost all their money and we got to hold it back for them. Why would a plumber in Iowa pay for some random moron in Silicon Valley's bonus? I mean, come on. The dumbest people in the world. So dumb. I hate that. I hate that so much. But the reason why we're paying is because these guys are big donors, Democrat people, liberal, woke people. That's why we're paying. Because they're on the same team with everybody in Washington, D.C. It's simple. Ain't nothing. Ain't nothing. And like I said, that bonus got caught up in that whole mess, we'll pay it as a taxpayer because that's going to be guaranteed by the federal government. There's no way that there is no way that the money won't come from us. How else would it get paid? There's more that I wanted to find here before I get to super chats. And you guys are great for the super chats. Appreciate that. But I think there's more I wanted to get to. At least one more video. And then I'll keep on rocking and rolling. Thieves, Silicon Valley. Exactly. Yes. Yeah, Andrew Ross Sorkin. A nut. Let's keep on moving here. There's actually quite a bit going on. I want to find one more. Oh, here is another video from Silicon Valley Bank. Nah, pardon me, not Silicon Valley Bank, Signature Bank. There was a second bank that collapsed, and they were also given the same treatment that Silicon Valley Bank was. So this is from them. Here's Jack Posobiec retweeting it, saying this is a video the Signature Bank made before they collapsed, kind of in awe. And a still shot from this, it looks like tar, like they got tarred and feathered. Let's play it right quick, and then super chat time and then calls.
Ruthless.
stress, so many useless meetings. Some banks will sell their souls, some banks just feel real old. I wish they weren't so, but I still wake up, I still have the dream. Oh Lord, I still know what I stand for. I stand for honesty, stand for integrity. Most days, it's so hard.
Look, listen here. If I saw this from a bank that I wanted to give money to, I would not give them 1 red cent. If you gave them money, I got to ask the question why. What kind of ROI were you getting on your deposit? Were you getting some kind of crazy 10% interest rate? Like, your dividends had to have been off the chain. Off the chain. I would not give them $1. Look at this.
To be here.
See, look, man, y'all worried about having this dumb commercial rather than trying to actually be bankers and be people that are getting work done. Oh, the cringe is real. Hey, but if I got a cringe, so shall you. So we having the cringe party right now. How about that?
How can I do my best? Come join the bank of best. We will do the rest. We do banking like it should be done. Stand strong, make a change. Forget the past and then you will always win your own.
So, yeah, I don't know what in the world that was. I guess they're trying to say that they're a great bank and the other mega banks are bad and they love their clients. I guess that was it. But, yeah, that bank also failed. And that bank also got a bailout from the federal government. Yes, they did. It's not a bailout, ABL. What you call it if the FDIC limit just got ignored for them and they're going to insure all the deposits. It's a bailout. It is what it is. All right. But yeah, it was way too long. It was long. But let's keep on going here. We got super chats on deck. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Thank you to Nick Coriel, who says, hello, my dear friend, with the dear emoji. Thank you for that. Thank you to Vladimir Putin for your first super chat, who says, why is old man with dementia still in the White House? Hey, man. Your guess is as good as mine. Thank you to Papanaya Shelley, who says Newsom had 3 vineyards protected in that Silicon Valley bailout. Uh-oh. Oh, yes, it was a bailout. Like, comment, subscribe, peace. Thank you for that. Appreciate you. Thank you to Planet Fatness, who says, I'm glad some white guy down the street wearing a Bulls hat didn't get blamed and doxxed. I don't see Jussie sticking up for him. I remember that, yeah. Said it was a random white guy. Like, if they were trying to find people, they were like trying to bring suspects in. That was a whole big crazy mess. Thank you to Araya Insurance and Adjusting, who says, interesting thought. The last veteran of the Civil War died in 1956. Nancy Pelosi was 16, Biden 14, and McConnell was 14. All high school age. Very interesting. Thank you to Leo Mazzina for fist bump emoji. Thank you to Araya Insurance, who says, Silicon Valley Bank records showed that the bank donated $73,450,000 to groups related to Black Lives Matter and other social justice issues. Very interesting. Not surprised. A woke bank like that would do things like that. Thank you to In Fiction, who says, age of Caligula is upon us. Thank you to No White Guilt, who says, great show tonight. ABL, thank you for that. Appreciate you. Thank you to Todd Terrell, who says, how many bank closures will be in the future? Is this the Fed move to push for global digital currency? That's a good question. I think there's going to be more in the future. And if not failures, I think a lot of banks are in trouble. They said when Silicon Valley Bank failed, Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank of America lost $50 billion in one day. $50 billion in one day. So they didn't fail, but they took a really big hit. Thank you to Hip Hop Dan who says, I'll wait in the line for the Louis Vuitton store. And thank you to Hail Mary who says, I called in a long time ago. I think they will be doing our taxes for us in the future. 87,000 new employees. Now they are estimating tips. Oh, they already do our taxes for us. They already do it. They already know they already know what's going on for the most part because they have access to everything. The only thing they don't have is cash, which is why they may want banks to fail. I'm not sure about that one, but they could. You see, if they can have everything be digital, then they could track whatever you do. Ultimately, they probably want everything to be on your phone, like the way it is in China. So all they got to do is just tap into your phone and see what you're doing. And then they just give you a bill about how much you got to pay in taxes. But the way things are right now, you can still do cash. Like, let's say, for example, we're talking about a waitress or a waiter. Give them cash and the IRS can't track that. There's no way. Like they're trying to track it a little bit by saying, okay, you live in a zip code where restaurants report X amount of money in tips and whatnot, so you should be right around that same level. And if you're a little bit below it, we're going to basically audit you. They say, oh, we're not going to audit people based on this new tool we have, but how would you be able to, you're going to have to audit people. If somebody has a much lower reported tip average than everybody else, you're going to inquire, why are your tips low? And the way to inquire would be through an audit. I mean, you could just ask them and say, hey, why your tips low? I'm a bad server. What am I going to say? You know, I don't be coming to work. I'm late. I give them their food. I got a bad attitude. I don't refill water or nothing. You could say that. And then what are they going to say? I'm a bad employee. You could say that. They got to audit. I think they already pretty much know. And when they eliminate cash, they'll definitely know. They have access to all your bank account, your fintech, your PayPal, Cash App. They have all that. Everything that you do, they'll track through your phone. Yeah, and that tip usually through cash. I only have cash for that purpose. If I know I'm going out somewhere to a restaurant or something like that where it's going to be cash tip, if I got to do valet parking, I'll have cash for that reason. But beyond that, I use my credit card for different purposes, for different reasons. But I'll move on. Here's something interesting right here. Christy Miller says, I withdrew a bunch of money and the bank wanted to know my job title. What I do for a living. Why? Exactly. Why is it their business? You know, how about, you know what? I do cartwheels in the park for a living. You know, I spin tires on my head like a basketball for a living. You know, I count hairs on frog legs for a living. How about that? Now, give me my money. It's my money. It's not your business what I do with my own money. I can go out here and buy all the crack in the world. So what? If I buy crack, that's not your business. Let the federales deal with it or the police deal with it, not you, the bank teller. You just go back there and run my $40 right now in the envelope. Come on. Anyway, I digress. Let's go ahead and get to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. There's also an email in the description box if you want to call in through Skype and be right there, bottom left-hand corner of the screen. And the number is also always right there below in the ticker. There it is, 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220 is right there. Also, it's in the description. Let's go ahead and get rocking and rolling here. Yeah, whatever I do for a living, don't worry about that, bank. I'm going to just do my thing. You do your thing. We'll leave it like that. It's real simple. 918 in the line, I'm speaker to.
Hey, what's up, ABL? It's JB Scott from Oklahoma. How you doing, buddy?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Oh, dude. This week so far has just been this is definitely the cringiest week of 2023 so far.
Yeah.
Everything, every story is cringe. Between Drew Barrymore and this is. I don't have anything positive to say about any of the news, but I'll just say one thing, and I'll leave it at that. I didn't watch the Oscars. I used to love watching the Oscars, but I can't anymore. But there's still a few good movies out there that are coming out. And Creed 3 is awesome. So, yeah. So I'll just recommend that to everyone. If you haven't seen the first two, watch them. They're awesome too. But other than that, I'm just going to leave it there and just, there's just so much cringe that I just can't take it, man.
Yeah, man, I hear you.
But, yeah. All right, well, I love you, dude. Love everybody in the chat and everyone here, and I'll sit back and enjoy the rest of the show.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate you.
All right, later, man.
All right. Do some more here. Let's go to 864 to the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Turk from Greenville, South Carolina.
Right.
Drew Barrymore's guest. Do you think she's going to dress up as a man for Halloween?
That'd be funny. I mean, hey, probably so.
All right, I'll hang up and listen to you later. Bye.
All right, now. Hey, that's a good question. I might see some of that going on. 505, you're online. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Roger.
All righty. What's happening?
Nothing. What's going on?
Hey, it's all good, man. Can't complain.
I just want to mention a couple things about why they might ask about not necessarily a job when you're taking out a large amount of money, but there's a lot of scams out there. And a friend of mine, and he's about 75, he went to the bank and withdrew $20,000 in cash. And that should throw up a red flag. Why you want to make sure that you're okay, especially at that age. And what he was doing was somebody called him and said, you bought a car, you owe us a bunch of money, you need to go withdraw money and then go buy gift cards. And so, I mean, bank tellers and other people want to make sure that people are protected from fraudulent activity like that. And the only reason he didn't get taken is because by the time he got to the store, he was so tired that he just gave up and went home. And then he talked to some people and they said, "Oh my God, that's a scam. Thank God you didn't give away your money." And then when he went back to the bank to put the money back in, he told him what happened. And the person that was there was also the person that he withdrew the money from. And she's all, I thought it was really weird, but, really none of my business what you do with your money, but kind of something like that, why they would ask. But asking what job you do is kind of stupid.
Right, exactly. Like I understand the concern about fraud and things like that, trying to protect your depositors, but like what job I do, like what's a guy do with trying to protect me? I think that's just kind of a silly question.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Other questions should have been asked, honestly, but really it's nobody's business what you do with the money. It's your money, and they have that, $10,000 limit. And even with withdrawals under $10,000, if you have a pattern of taking out money or putting money in that's just under that amount, the feds will still try to come after you because it shows a pattern of you trying to beat the system. and that's usually criminal activity too.
Right, of course.
So I just wanted to say, I really think it's stupid for the job thing, but I just want to give you a little insight on something like that. And honestly, I think the big banks are going to weather this. And if that happens, there's only going to be 5, 6 banks that are around.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty scary actually.
Yeah, no, it really is, because they would control everything, and then they can do the electronic currency and then keep track, and they could put a stop to whatever you're doing. They could just shut you off like that, touch of a button.
Right.
So anyway, I appreciate you picking up and talking to me.
No problem, man. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
All right, now. All right, shout out to the caller. Great call. Let's go to 504 to line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. It's Alien Spaceship.
All righty, man. What's happening?
All right. So today I have some things to say. So about the finances, yeah, I agree that it's very scary that it seems like the big banks are trying to get rid of their competition.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. And also, when I was in high school, I did some things with financing, and it's something I'm interested in. And I do think that, the first steps the people did was the high inflation, and then it, led to all these other financial crises. Do you agree with that?
Now, say it one more time.
Okay, so when the inflation happened, this was the first step to what we have now with this bank collapsing.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Because the inflation caused a bunch of other problems, meaning and it happened at the wrong time because we had very low interest rates already. And the only way to combat the inflation was to raise the interest rates. And a lot of these banks made moves at a time of very low interest rates that they could not sustain with the higher interest rates. So that just caused the problems that the banks had. The banks made bad decisions, and it was just compounded by the rise in interest rates.
Mm-hmm. Right. And I'm not that familiar with this bank that collapsed. I know we've been talking about it, the last stream and this stream. Did you say it had something to do with crypto?
No, not that I know of. All I know is that FTX, the crypto exchange, collapsed, and then we have SVB collapsing. Now I'm not sure if it was connected, but it's just kind of a coincidence that you have the whole FTX scandal, and then just short time later, we have 2 banks collapsing.
Yeah, I remember when I woke up in the morning and I saw in the Twitter notifications that it collapsed, and I said, it reminds me of back in the 20s and 30s when the Depression happened.
Yeah, it's pretty much like that.
Right. And I know in Germany, in the Weimar Republic, they had an inflation issue. It was really, really, really bad. And it looks like this country is going in that direction because, as we all know that everything is getting more expensive, and it's only benefiting the people that are in power doing these policies, as I've said before. And it's just the normies don't seem to understand, No,
of course not. They don't really get it.
Right. Now, I do agree with one of the callers, Matt, that silver is a good idea, I think.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's a good hedge against inflation and gold and stuff. Now, what are your current thoughts on cryptocurrency? I'm just curious.
I'm not really a fan because ultimately crypto is only as strong as what you can sell it for, and that's usually just US dollars. So I don't really see the purpose. It's not going to necessarily maintain value. I guess it could, but I don't really know because it goes with the dollar. It's not its own currency.
Right. And it's like you blink and then it just could disappear. And I think it could be used for government to just control people and just, take it away from people and stuff. Do you think that makes sense?
What you mean as far as crypto or what?
like the cryptocurrency, that it could be used by the government to like control people. I think it's just take it away easier since it's digital. Does that make sense?
Well, I mean, they could do that with either crypto or if it was like a digital currency. So either way, like if they had a digital dollar, or if they took control of cryptocurrency, if cryptocurrency became a viable currency, they could take control of that the same way they could take control of the dollar if it was digital. And really, quite frankly, they've taken control of the dollar by causing inflation.
Right. And, because they just print more and more money out. And also, I remember the other caller was talking about the banks. Yeah, like, I do agree the banks get really nosy about what people are doing and stuff. I do agree with that. And I think that it is good to have it in different accounts because things can collapse, as we can see, and not have all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I've been doing for a long time because, like I was saying, even if your money is insured, you may not get that right away. It take a little while for you to get that money actually back in your pocket.
Right. The same people that are causing all this trouble, and we know that government health care and things may not be always reliable, and that's definitely not going to be reliable either. And they give like the people a false sense of security.
Right.
And also, and real quick, I'll say, I think with Trump, I think he was a good president, and I think that I still think he could be using reverse psychology with DeSantis, but I do understand your point that some people may have been kind of brainwashed by the media about Trump, though. I do understand your point about that.
Absolutely. I mean, like, I just follow what people are thinking and feeling because I know most people are not going to be the same as me.
Right. But I still, I like Trump and hope he gets it, but I can see, both perspectives, and it's good to view things through a logical perspective and how things go, how people, see stuff. Right. And that's all I have to say. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
Goodbye.
All right. You guys are fantastic. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff.
I can see
936, you're on the line I'm speaking to.
Yes, good evening. This is Laura the Goddess. Tiptoe through the tulips. That's who I see when I see what's her face is Ruby. Ruby, is it? Jamie Lee Curtis's quote unquote daughter?
Right, yes.
Oh my God. Actually that's the first time I'd seen that picture.
Yeah, it's a picture.
Yeah, her daughter. Yes. Oh, yes, her daughter. Good Lord. Actually, I called to ask you if you had talked about the Muslim woman that's being stalked by the trans mafia now.
No, I think I saw something about that, but I've not looked into it too deeply.
Oh, that to me is unacceptable. And I'm going to be doing a video about it myself. I'll probably talk about it tomorrow on my show too, but that's unacceptable. They actually went and even attacked her religion.
That's crazy. Totally crazy.
And she said that they had found some old pictures of her without her hijab on, and that's a no-no in that religion.
Yeah, that's a serious. It could put her in danger.
Well, they already have. She said that they've messed up her car. She said that they've sent her emails giving out the information about her two daughters, where they go to school, what time she picks them up. I mean, for the people that keep insisting that they're not going after children, they're sure doing a good job of it right now.
Right, absolutely.
And this thing with Drew Barrymore, oh my God. Although she's always been kind of a wimpy, whiny blah to me anyway. But yeah, she just basically, what you saw on that video was that she just kneeled down to the patriarchy. She's another one that's going to erase us women.
Oh, clearly. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, I'm not having that neither. I don't care what these people do. but they need to stay out of our business. In fact, I absolutely refuse to be called a cis woman. I am a woman. I am a Caucasian woman. You guys want your labels? I insist on mine.
Right.
I don't think you'd want to be called anything different than what you are, right?
Not at all. You know, I love who I am. I won't be anything different.
Yep, me too. And like I say, I love these people. I'm commanded by God to love these people, but I don't have to like them, and I don't have to put up with their crap either.
Absolutely, that's right. You know, it's not incumbent upon you to participate in their game.
No, indeed not. Not to mention the fact I got my own problems. I mean, I'm sorry you're having problems, but you think about it. These people are bringing this stuff on themselves. And you got Dylan Mulvaney going out there telling everybody, oh, leave me alone, leave me alone. That's not what he wants. Otherwise, he wouldn't have 7 million followers on TikTok. He wouldn't be in all these galas. He wouldn't be going to all of these public events. No, don't leave him alone. That's not what he wants.
That's right.
Okay, I just wanted to know actually if you had talked about that poor Muslim woman. I feel terrible for her, and I intend on backing her up. And I hope everybody else does too.
I'll check it out for sure. See what's going on with it. Absolutely.
Okay. All right, you guys, everybody have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow, hopefully.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you.
Okay, good night.
All right, shout out to the caller. Great call. And let's go to some more here. Let's go. And the phone lines are blowing up. Y'all hang tight. I'm going to try to get to you guys as soon as possible. All right. 559, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, ABL. Hey, I'm calling. I kind of want to remain anonymous, but I work for a school district, and so I don't want to say my name. But I do want to make a warning to. I live in California, and currently in middle school, there's a curriculum called Making Proud Choices. Okay, anyone can look it up. It's a evidence-based, safer, quote-unquote, safer, SEX, I won't say the word because I know there may be children listening, approach to teen pregnancy and HIV prevention, okay? If there are any parents listening that are in California and maybe other states, I'm not sure, California's crazy, I encourage you to look it up and ask your school, if your children are in school, if they are promoting or teaching about this curriculum. They go over affirming terms like cisgender, transgender, gender non-binary. You can't say quote-unquote derogatory terms or incorrect terms like tranny. I won't say the other words. They go over more affirming terms. They go over identity. They go over role play among two males, and they have their two males, and this is one of the skits. This is one of the quote-unquote role plays, straight from the curriculum book. You have slept with Will 3 times already, always unprotected. You have goals and dreams for the future, and you want to use CONDOMS. Okay? So I know I'm kind of like, I just want to give a warning I want to encourage parents that if your children are in the public school system, and they have to be, please be aware of the curriculum. A lot of times, especially in communities where maybe English is a second language, especially, sometimes when the paperwork is sent home, it's hard. It's not translated well. So you might get a paper that says, we're going to be going over this like next week. Just turn it in. Sign it if you don't want your child to participate. A lot of times parents they have no idea what their children are going to be actually learning.
Hold on. I have one question. I have a question. So what you just read, what age group would that be given to?
Oh, this is 7th, 8th grade.
Wow. So we're
It's
talking
middle
about
school.
like middle school, like 12, 13, that age group.
Oh yeah, and I have a 11-year-old, and his school is anyways. So after I saw this, so I'm trying not to. I don't want to say too much, but
right.
You have to ask questions. You need to be aware. Don't think that this isn't like in your school. You have to be asking questions. You have to be looking at the curriculum. You have to be asking, because they're telling these children that, affirming terms, butch, femme, feminine, presenting, anyways, it's crazy. So I would encourage all the parents listening. I guess it doesn't really matter what state you're in, because if it's in California, it's probably leaking, heading towards the East Coast. But it's called Making Proud Choices. That's what the curriculum is called, and it's an evidence-based program, quote unquote, by Loretta Sweet. I don't know, I can't say her last name. John Gemont. I'm assuming they're married, and then Constance A. McCaffrey. So, and they're all quote unquote doctors. What does that even mean anymore? Joe Biden. But anyways,
right.
I wanted to come on here and if there's anyone listening that you have middle schoolers, and maybe not, it doesn't even have to be middle school, but that's where they're targeting. You want to make sure that you're checking in on your kid's school and making sure that you're asking questions to look at the curriculum that's being taught, because I was appalled. It's disgusting, so anyways, that's all I wanted to call in and say. I appreciate you, ABL, and I always look forward to your lives. I think you're hilarious. Like, you're super funny. Like, if you did a tour, I would go. I would, my husband and I would go. But anyways, I think you're hilarious, and I enjoy your commentary. I especially like your most recent video with the Nigerian brothers.
Yeah.
You were crying.
Oh, I was.
You were crying.
I was dying laughing. I was watching that live for the first time, so you were getting a genuine reaction. That was hilarious.
Yeah, you were crying. I saw that. So anyways, good stuff. Thank you. I appreciate all you do. I hope you have a good night.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you.
Bye.
I had to watch the Nigerian brothers, huh? I had to watch them because these are my brothers. These are my brothers from Africa, Mother Africa. I had to watch them. They were hilarious. Anyway, keep on rocking and rolling. The number to call, 434-658-1220. All right, Tariq, what's going on?
Hey, Evio, what's up, man?
It's all good, man.
I just found that Drew Barrymore's situation, man. It's really up to the women to really fight back on this, because us men, we can talk about it and rail about it, but if you watch that Drew Barrymore thing, which was incredibly hard for me to watch, and you see the women in the audience cheering, you don't see you don't even see women out on the streets protesting against this. If anything happens to the abortion issue, which is a hot topic, you'll see women protesting around this country. But trans women invading their spaces, it's silent. It's a very few of them saying anything. And if they're not going to do anything about it, I hate to say it, it's just going to have to get worse. Because, if we out here saying it's wrong, but the majority of women are silent on it, they're allowing their children to compete with trans women instead of pulling their children out, taking a stand collectively. They're not, women collectively are not doing anything about it. That's why that swimmer, I forget her name, that swimmer who blew out all those other girls, and
Leah Thomas.
I can tell, yeah, they were visibly mad, but it's like, y'all still raced her.
Yep.
All of them could have sat out of that competition. All of them. What is the college going to do? Punish all of them? No. If women sit out, there will be no sports. And I think Brandon Tatum put up a story where one Christian, I think it was a basketball team, actually did that, where they didn't compete against a school that had a trans woman in it, which was brave. But then they get banned in that state. And of course, Vermont's a blue state. But what if all the other women came in solidarity and say, you know what, if you're going to ban them, you got to ban us too? if women aren't willing to do that, nothing is going to change. And the only women that actually stood their ground, as I would say, the women who were in the MMA, when Fallon Fox was lying, well, didn't tell anybody that he was a transgender, and then he was first beating up women, and then finally came out as if it was some impressive thing so he can get his little first trans woman awards for, beating up women, as if that's impressive that a man can transition and then compete with biological women in their physical sport and actually win. And the women stopped fighting him. And he got no more contracts and out. Had to retire. That's how you do it. But like I said, man, if they're not going to do anything about it, it's like, man, I'm at a point where I'm like, I'm almost at the point where I'm like, transgenders, do your worst. Like, go in the showers, slanging, and let's just see how much they can take. Like, I'm trying to see how much the woman can, especially the liberal woman, the liberal white woman, the liberal black woman, the normie liberal. I'm just curious how much beatdown they can take before they rise up, because it seems like women only listen to whatever the liberal, or orthodoxy tell them to, and they're like, "Well, our only issues is abortion, and that's it." And it's like that's all they care about. It's just abortion. That's it. That's what gets them out. So, okay, so we'll see. So yeah, man, and the other thing I want to speak about is these immigrant situation, man, because we all know that the Democrats don't care about illegal immigration. They don't care that illegal immigration is making the cartels rich. You know what I'm saying? Like the coyote industry in South America is rich because of our flawed border. And the reason why they can rush our border like that in El Paso, because they know that once they set foot in this country, it's game over. We're going to take care of them. So liberals don't care if, children get raped across the border. They don't care about none of that stuff. And I hope they keep bringing these illegal immigrants in. And I hate to say, put them right in the black community. And the reason why I said put them in the black community, because if we're going to keep voting blue, no matter who, and not caring, but then keep whining about how, how we don't have any economic opportunities. We keep whining about crime and keep whining about drugs. Hey, this is what you vote for. You don't fight against it. You are so emotional about a republic because you still think that if a Republican gets in power, you're gonna go back to slavery. I mean, how stupid is that? Like, but so I said let them do it. And one last thing, man, and I'm done. The whole reparations in San Francisco. I hope that passed, because I'm sorry, man, bankrupt these liberal cities. These people vote for these policies. I hate to say it, but they deserve to suffer. They want their taxes to be high. So suffer. Vote for it. Pay all them black folks their reparation and bankrupt that city. I just hope that they don't flee to the red states. That's all. That's all I gotta say, man.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate you.
All right, take care.
Great call as always. All right, let's get to some more here. All right, Victor, what's happening?
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
No problem.
Hey, did you see that viral video that trans woman, the man that was ranting at Popeyes?
I saw some of that and I played it a little bit here, and it was a little bit too graphic. He was doing a lot. He was doing the most. Yeah. And I was like, sir, you know what? A way that you can convince those people that you want to think that you're a woman is not be so aggressive as a male, all this male, masculine, trying to fight energy. Maybe that might be a good way to go about it.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I was very perplexed about is all those white people working at Popeyes. Seriously, I never seen that in my whole life.
Yeah.
Nothing but black people. Of course, you're going to get ready to fight if something goes down.
Oh, yeah.
My first time moving to Virginia was a culture shock because I see nothing but Hispanics, even in D.C., Popeyes.
Oh, yeah. Like if you're out there in Northern Virginia, that's basically Mexico or Puerto Rico. Like you come down to Southern Virginia, is looking like you know, in Nigeria.
Yeah. So anyway, the video that you did about Baltimore, about not giving people who are under 25 criminal charges for murder or something like that.
So they proposed a bill that says if you're under 25, you won't get charged with felony murder. Meaning, like if you were present when somebody else killed somebody, like if 5 people get in the car, rob a bank, and then one guy kills the clerk, everybody would get charged with murder because you were there when that happened. But that would not happen with this new rule if you're under the age of 25.
Yeah, I think what the Democrats in Maryland were doing was trying to one up what the Democrats in DC, because recently, and the federal government had to step in. They wanted to reduce the maximum penalty on violent crimes.
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah, so what they realized, the Democrat office in DC, they realized that the laws that they have in the books are over 100 years old. It hasn't been updated. Their update was to reduce violent crimes, murder, rape, all types of violent crimes. The mayor said blocked it, but they overruled that block and was trying to put it in. Not until Congress, both the Democrats and the Republicans, said, okay, nah, you can't do that. There were some Democrats like AOC that spoke against it because Biden agreed and said that he's not going to do anything and he's not going to allow the law pass. But they got upset with, some Democrats like AOC got upset with Biden for not allowing DC to be its own state. Like, come on now. Are you serious going to reduce violent crimes when DC is already having problems? And it's affecting some of the parts of Northern Virginia too.
It's crazy. Totally crazy.
Yeah. That's why when we talk about voting, I can't trust people. I cannot trust people with the voting because they see the issue. They keep complaining about it, but they still vote the same people. There is no reason for Gavin Newsom to win his election again after trying to, when he was trying to get voted out before his term was over. And now you came back during the midterm election and voted him in again? That doesn't make sense at all.
It doesn't, not at all.
Yeah. The last one I want to talk about is the Colin Kaepernick, where he called his white family racist, even though like his black half didn't even raise him. Colin Kaepernick and Kendrick Perkins proved Adam Scott right. How
Scott Adams.
Scott Adams proved Scott Adams right, where no matter what you do, black people will still see you as racist. I saw a clip from this podcast from Fox Soul where where one of them mentioned that individual white people I can agree with and hang out, but collectively they are evil. I'm like, you're complaining about Scott Adams, right?
Scott Adams, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. You were complaining about Scott Adams being racist and not being around white people, not being around black people. And you had said exactly what Scott Adams was talking about. When you collectively said all white people are evil. Even with Saturday Night Live, with the Daily Reporter, with Michael Shea saying, yeah, Scott Adams was right. Whereas Michael Shea was also working with a white guy next to him, working at a predominantly white show. If you really feel like that you don't need to be with white people, Why are you taking white people money? Why are you sitting right next to that white person? That doesn't make any sense at all.
That's a good question.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for taking my call.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
All right. Bye.
All right. Great call from Victor. Now, somebody said it in the chat. I was thinking the same thing. Kaepernick's not black. If Kaepernick is black, then he's also white. He's both. He's biracial, black and white. So how can it be one, not the other? It's a thing, but let's keep on going here. 440, you're the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, how's it going, ABL? Long time no talk.
Everything's all right, man. How about yourself?
Pretty good. I was just regarding that video of that guy that you just played that you haven't seen, that, you know, the it's ma'am one.
Oh, yeah.
That's some toxic masculinity right there. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Yeah, but one more thing on a serious note, this whole transgender movement and all the LGBTQ stuff, it's basically neo-Marxism. What they did is took the class struggle they used in the 1920s in the USSR, and they replaced class with race, gender, whatever you want. This is basically just a move to try to divide people. You know, you're not doing well because that guy has white privilege. You're not doing this because somebody else's fault. Is the exact same thing that happened in the USSR. The only difference is, back in those days, the narrative was you're poor because that guy is rich. In the U.S., if you work hard enough, you can actually make something out of yourself. So that didn't work. So they had to switch it to this. And it's working, apparently, because people are dumb.
Yeah, very much so. And it's by design, too, because look at the way the school system has been attacked. You know, these kids are not learning what they should learn. They learn about all this woke stuff, and they can barely add 2 plus 2.
Do you know? Yeah, but do you know who's behind this?
Who's that?
It's China, and I'm not making this up. They're trying to divide the U.S. because a weak U.S. will actually enable them to do whatever they want in the South China Sea. You know that we have like wokeness in the army now? That's by design. China could never take the U.S. militarily, so they devised this because Chinese have money invested in all the universities in the country. All the universities took money from China. They got spies all over the place, and they started pushing this and to try to weaken the U.S. from within. And I got a few gay friends that actually told me that they hate this stuff because the way they put it was, people finally accepted who we were. We've been left alone, and now this whole stuff started all over again. And now we got to fight this whole battle all over again.
Yeah, it's a mess. What's going on right now?
Yeah, people need to wake up to see what this really is. This is just divide and conquer, trying to divide people into small groups, try to weaken the U.S. This is neo-Marxism. That's what it is. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you, and have a nice day. Have a nice night, whatever.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye.
All right, great call. Let's go to some more here. Let's go to 860. You're the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Bill. It's F&A Ranger Xbox. How you doing, brother?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
I just have to agree with the last callers. You know, it's just trigger words. Discovered when? Oh, around the beginning of when communism was formed in Russia.
Exactly.
You know, Pablo's dogs with the bell. Trigger word. Then it grew into psychological operations. And I just wanted to say to the PSYOP specialists out there listening that's in the chat, I was referring to PSYOP in the multiple plural form. That's why I said PSYOPs, because many different ones going on at the same time. Yeah, it's amazing to be right 2 years later for the past 3 years.
Right on.
Oh, boy. I'm permanently banned on Twitter wasn't a challenge, really. But finally permanently banned on Facebook, thank God. But I'm on Wimkin, free speech. I suggest you get on there. But my God, this country's gone to hell. I'm sorry for the curse word, but what else can you say about it? I mean, when did these kids get so dumb? Trump shut down that spy center in Houston of, what was it, 127 agents. And they were teaching these college kids through the Confucius Institutes the tactics that the Hong Kongese were using to fight the communists. The communists took those tactics and gave them to Antifa and BLM to riot and burn American cities. It's all part of their total war strategy. The fentanyl, the drugs, the illegal immigration. It's all designed, and the economy spends $9 trillion in 3 years. It's all designed to destroy us from within. I'm just wondering when my 14 million brothers and sisters of the United States Armed Forces are going to wake up and take our country back. It's about, I don't want a thermonuclear holocaust. I didn't vote for that. Did any of you Biden voters vote for a thermonuclear holocaust? I didn't hear anybody say, order one. I didn't see them on Amazon on discount. So what do you think about that, ABL?
Yeah, I didn't order one either. So, that's not something I'm really interested in getting. If we get that, I like to go ahead and return it to the sender. Return it to them. Don't give it to us. We don't want it.
Right. I've been to China and Russia. You can't trust communists, period. NTD has a 50-part series on how Mao Zedong used critical theory to divide people of the same skin color, same elliptical eye shape, same hair color, same skin tones, into 50 different classes of oppressor and oppressed, and then sat back and laughed as they killed each other. And we're watching them do it in real time because we allowed the communists to take over our educational system. And now is the time to fight back the way Ron DeSantis is fighting back, the way the governor of Texas is he's taken over the school system in Houston. And that's what we're going to have to start doing. We're going to have to start taking our country back because they're burning it to the ground. That's all I got, brother. I love you. Love the show. God bless America. Get on Wimkin. True free speech.
Thanks for the
Social
call.
media. God bless.
All righty. You guys are fantastic. You know what to do. 773 on the line. Let's pick it to.
ABL, it's your retired Chicago police officer friend. You know I had a call in about the Jussie Smollett story here.
Oh,
ABL.
yeah.
Maybe I can give people a little bit of insight. In every police district in a city now, they have what's called an SDSC room. That's a Strategic Decision Support Center, more commonly known as the camera room. So every police station has a couple of coppers in this room that has all the access to all the cameras around the city. They don't have access to the camera on your business because that's private, but all the cameras around the city that are on the telephone poles and whatnot, these rooms have access to that. Now, if you look on that video, the brothers, the Osundairo brothers, they point up the stairs to the hotel. And if you look to the right of that video, you will see it looks almost like an underground cave. Here's the thing. Up those stairs is Upper Michigan. It's Michigan Avenue where the Magnificent Mile and all that is. Down those stairs is Lower Michigan. You could drive your car through there and whatnot. If you watch when they ran away at the end of the video, there's a big overhead door to the hotel. That is where you make deliveries. So all the action is up those stairs in that part of the Michigan Avenue. That's where the stores are. That's where 7-Eleven is. That's where the entrance to the hotel is. Underneath is a little more industrial. A lot of homeless people live under there. But he picked that spot because he saw the camera. Now, those cameras, they have like a smoky dome over it. And inside the smoky dome is a 360-degree camera that can spin around and all that and see all around its surroundings. In that camera room in those police stations, those cameras on the street have a shot spotter, some of them. And the shot spotter, what it does is, if a gunshot goes off, the camera automatically spins towards the sound of the gunfire, and it alerts the people in the SDSC room, in the camera room in the station, that a gunshot may have gone off. Now, a lot of times it catches a backfire of a car or whatever, but a lot of times it catches the gunshot and makes them aware of it. Also, during the normal time of your watch or your shift, those guys listen to the radio. So if there's a fight on the street, they bring up the camera of that location, and then they broadcast over the radio, the police radio. Yeah, there is, looks like there's 10 or 20 people out there. They're all fighting. To give you an idea while you're driving to this call, to give you an idea of what you might find on the street. So that's what these rooms are for, these camera rooms. Well, the reason he wanted to go down those stairs, Jussie Smollett, because there's a camera. He wanted to capture that on the camera. That's why they wanted to be where that, to meet the Nigerian brothers at that spot, because he thought, it'll be caught on camera. Okay. But unfortunately for him, that camera wasn't pointed in that direction. And there was no reason for any of those coppers. They don't operate every single camera every single minute. So the camera's pointed in the wrong direction. All right. And of course, ABL, like any Jussie Smollett production, nobody watched. So he got a 0 Nielsen rating. I think the Nigerian brothers, did a better acting job than Jussie did. So I found that hilarious that, he had all this whole choreography of what to do and everything else, and it was never seen by the audience he was hoping it was seen by, which was the police. Of course, he didn't do it upstairs on the stairs because more people are walking up there. They might actually see that they were black and contradict his story. His story is ridiculous from beginning to end. And the fact that the state's attorney let him off the hook in the very beginning to make this heater case, a heater case is a case that's in the news, let it quiet down. Then it was brought back and he was found guilty, and he keeps saying he's not guilty. It's ridiculous. And here's the thing about police work, again, ABL, is that the truth bubbles up to the surface when you start asking the hard questions. Because if it doesn't make sense, it's a lie. We might not know what the truth is, but we recognize the lie right from the beginning. Anyway, ABL, that's my 2 cents. I'll be brief today because I'll let everybody else get in. Nice talking to you, and I'll talk to you later.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you.
Thanks, ABL.
Great call. Great perspective. Very good. I had no idea anything about Chicago and all of what was going on. Yeah, it made perfect sense for him to do that down there. So, it'd be kind of out of the view of the general public. Yeah, made a lot of sense. Very, very interesting. But yeah, shout out to the Nigerian brothers. They did, they were amazing. That video I saw, the little reenactment, was nuts. Completely nuts. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Yeah, the Dave Chappelle special on that was on point. The parodies and whatnot were better than the production that Jussie Smollett tried to pull off in front of that ridiculous camera. Yeah, that was a whole big crazy mess. All right, let's go. 470. Oh, you're on the line. I'm speaking to.
Hey, Bill. Hey, it's Greg from Wild and Wacky 11. How you doing, sir?
It's all good, man. Can't complain.
A lot of shooting going on here. You know how it goes. Anyway, great show. I got in a little late, but I like the part we were talking about the Jussie Hoax brothers, the Osundairo guys or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is MAGA country. They voted 83% for Hillary Clinton in 2016. So
right.
I think that's definitely MAGA country there. So yeah, it was a $1,500 check, if I'm not mistaken, that Jussie Smollett paid to the 2 brothers from Nigeria.
Oh, so that was all. They had to split that between the two of them. So $750
yes,
each.
that was it. Oh, that's not much. That's like what, $750 a piece.
Right, and then is that? I mean, we're talking about Uber fees and the little props they bought from the beauty supply store, the red hats and the Ace Hardware string. That's probably not even including it.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt, but these guys are personal trainers, so aren't they going to make a lot more than that? Are they that hard up for cash?
I mean,
apparently so.
Apparently, yeah.
And by the way, you do put on an excellent Nigerian accent. I work in retail, and I've seen a lot of Nigerian customers come up to my store over the years, and that sounds really good. I think you are actually a Nigerian prince.
Well, appreciate that, man.
Get your pen and paper ready. I've got about $250,000 to put in your bank account. I can't give any more, otherwise it won't be guaranteed for protection for FDIC.
There you go.
So, anyway, well, you're talking about reparations. You know, it's been going on. This talk's been going on, especially the last couple of months in San Francisco, if not longer. But do you realize that there are white people right now, since at least the beginning of September of last year, that are demanding reparations from other white people?
Oh, really?
Yes. And I sent you this article about an hour and 20 minutes ago. Since at least the beginning of September of 2022, Poland is demanding, not asking, but demanding reparations from Germany.
Oh, really? I had no idea.
Yes, that's correct. The population of Poland in 1939 was 34,775,000 people. Military deaths were 400,000 approximately. This is approximately, it could be even more. Civilian deaths in World War II in Poland were 5.2 million, some as high as 6 million or more. And the civilian deaths from the Nazi Holocaust were 3 million.
Wow.
So out of that, Poland is demanding, not asking, but demanding $1.3 trillion with a T, trillion dollars, 1.3 trillion from Germany.
Wow.
And World War II ended less than 78 years ago. And Poland was occupied for approximately 5 years and 4 months, from September of 1939 until January 1945. So do you think it's fair for the Germans to pay reparations to Poland? I mean, you're talking about nearly 4 generations of people have grown up since the end of World War II, 1945. They're not going to want to pay that for a war they didn't fight in.
Yeah, nah.
Just the same as white people aren't going to want to pay for reparations that happened over 158 years ago for something that they had nothing to do with either.
And the thing about it is, it's a little bit different. Like, either way, I'm not in favor of either one, but it's different.
Right.
Like, with the whole race thing in America, it's like, well, who's black and who's white, really? Because a prime example would be Colin Kaepernick. He's just as much black as he is white. So does he qualify for reparations? I mean, what about his white side?
Right.
And then what if you are a black person who has ancestors who were black and owned slaves? How does that really work? It's a mess.
Yeah. I think this goes deeper than reparations for slavery. I think this is the deep-seated hatred of white people. I honestly do. And like you were saying earlier, if they were going to give reparations to black people, they should have done this in the 1870s or early 1880s at the latest.
Yeah.
While people who were victims of that time period were still around, to receive compensation.
Correct.
But now so much time has passed that it's pointless. And it would be racist to collect money from white people just because they're white. What, half the people or more that are in this country that are white weren't even here at the time of slavery. And even if they were, they didn't commit any crimes against black people. They weren't slave owners,
Yeah, and
they're
really,
modern white people.
And the truth is that it wouldn't even be from white people specifically. It'd just be from the taxpaying citizen, regardless of what color you are. They pull straight from that. Like if it was a federal program, they pull from the federal government's money. They wouldn't even be a race thing. Like, I don't think that there's probably not a pot of racially specific money. It's like, okay, we collect tax from the white people, from the black people. It's just all one pot. It'd be given out that way. And then if there's not enough money in the pot, it just raise taxes or create more inflation. So all Americans will suffer, including black people, to get money to black people. And then who's black? It could be a bunch of Sean Kings out there to say, hey, my great grandfather was black, so give me some money. It's weird.
Right, but in the end, my point is that both white leftists and black and other non-white leftists only care about slavery and reparations and oppression when it's white people oppressing black people and people of other non-white races. When it's non-white races oppressing people oppressing other non-white races. When it's people of non-white races oppressing other people who are not white, they don't care about that. Like for example, 500,000 people were oppressed by the Japanese during the Second World War in Southeast Asia by the Japanese.
Right.
And they were not white. There were Pacific Islanders, Palauans, people from other, racist ethnic groups on various islands. The leftists don't really care about that, but they sure as hell raise hell, when it comes to white people oppressing, black people during slavery in America, which was originally a British institution that was brought over here to America before we were even a country. And furthermore, 12 million people were enslaved by the Nazis from well over a dozen countries between 1939 and 1945. 85% or 95% of those people were white. Poles, Russians, Croatians, Frenchmen, even Germans that resisted the Nazis were turned into slaves for resisting the Third Reich.
Right.
But they don't care about that. It's not just that they're not educated about it, they don't care. Because it can't be used as political purposes. As I said before, I'll say it again, I hate racial politics. But it's this whole white and black thing I don't like. Slavery is slavery, whether it happened under the Third Reich or here in America or in England or in the barbarous slave trade days. It's horrible.
Right on.
It just is either way. So that's my point. That's all I wanted to say. But check it out. I sent you this article about an hour and 20 minutes ago about Poland demanding reparations from Germany. It's $1.3 trillion. Germany should say, screw you. I mean, this should have been paid out decades ago if they were going to pay it. Germany's already paid every Tom, Dick, and Harry for World War II for the crimes they committed during the Nazi period. They should not be paying out money now. That would cripple their economy and ruin Germany.
All right, right on, man. Well, thank you for the call as always. Definitely appreciate you.
Anyway, thank you very much. Didn't want to take up too much time. Best wishes to you, and we hope to hear from you again next Wednesday.
All right, thank you for the call.
Thanks, man. Take care. Bye.
All right, shout out to the caller and shout out to you guys as well. You guys on the Jordan number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. I got a little bit of time left. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. And, I almost forgot to mention, I'm not sure if I said it earlier, but this is a podcast you're listening to right now. If you're watching me live on the YouTube, thank you for doing that. You can also be listening to me again on the YouTube on the replay or on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether that be Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, etc. Links for that will be in the description box, or go to your favorite audio streaming platform like Apple iTunes and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. Check me on out. All righty. And then when you're over there on the audio streaming platform, please give me a 5-star rating, a review, whatever you can. I'd most certainly appreciate that from you guys. All righty. But yeah, Germany paying Poland reparations. There's a lot of that type of stuff going on all over the place. I mean, it's whatever. You know what I mean? Over here in the States, reparations for slavery, and then they want to extend it to other things, Jim Crow, all kind of stuff. It's like, it's just a bunch of talking. It never happened. It'd be talked about more and more. It'd be spoken about again, and it'd be spoken about every year for 100 more years, 200 more years, and they'll never do anything. And the reason why they won't do anything is because they don't have to. What's the purpose in doing anything for people that are going to vote for you regardless? And truthfully, in a place like San Fran, black folks only about 5.1% of the population. They're an extreme minority behind whites, Hispanics, Asians, everybody. They're like the number 4 or 5 minority. So what's the purpose? The only thing that you could do really is get that out there and make it be news that a lot of the liberals of other colors would appreciate. All righty, Les, what's happening?
Hey, Bill, how are you?
It's all good. About yourself?
Good. I just wanted to go ahead and comment on the Drew Barrymore show real quick.
Yeah.
I think it's bananas. It's nuts.
It sure is. Pun intended.
I mean, I get maybe you want to fake a nice emotional moment on show, for your viewers to see, but that was so phony and fake. I can't even. I don't even know how else to describe it, to be honest with you. I mean, have we ever heard of hugs, standing up? Because usually that's how we do it. We don't get on our knees on the floor to hug each other.
Yeah, that was just totally. It was cringe at best. That's probably the best word to describe that.
Definitely. I was like, oh my goodness, no. And then I wanted to go ahead and comment on that, the documents that you had put up for the drag shows. So I wanted to actually, because I know the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, he's killing it. He's lit. He's on fire. Good for him, because in reality, like I said, every single state needs to be on board with protecting our youth and the innocent, ABL, because at the end of the day, if you cannot go out there in certain states and buy cigarettes till you're 18. Some states even, they want you to be 21. Alcohol, you have to be 21 or over. If you want to go to one of these, these specific clubs, you have to be 21 and over. Why are we out? Why are these specific individuals out here trying to poison our mind and in reality sexualize our children at such a young age? It is disgusting. That is the biggest term of grooming. And not just that, they're pedophiles. Just point blank, period. That's just what it is. And we have to call it out for what it is. But ABL, at the end of the day, those are the parents that follow the left, because for a fact that we conservative parents are not out there putting our children through that kind of just disgusting, horrific thing. Shows.
Exactly.
I just wanted to go ahead and comment those two things, ABL, to be honest with you. Great show again. I want to wish you a wonderful night till Saturday. God bless you. God bless the chat. And the little patriots said good night, but they're already tucked in sleep. They could not wait up any longer. They were tired. So you take care, ABL. Till next time.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate you.
You're welcome. Bye.
All right. Great call as always. And thank y'all for being here. Yet again, you guys are fantastic. Yeah, it's a lot of that type of stuff going on. A lot of the grooming the children going on. And the whole Drew Barrymore thing, that was just cringe beyond belief. Beyond belief. I mean, it's like it takes a lot sometimes to surprise me. But that right there, it was right at the very top. All right, Skype caller, who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, it's Danny from UK. How's it going?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Yeah, good. Thanks for taking my call again. Appreciate that, man.
No problem.
Yeah, I've got to jump on this Jussie Smollett brothers. I've got to have to talk about that, man.
Yes.
I know it's been, we're speaking about, I know, everyone's gave their take on it, and I don't want to keep, banging on the same drum, but those brothers are absolutely hilarious, man.
They were fantastic. They need their own show, really. The whole thing with Jussie Smollett, that's beneath them. They need their own show because they were hilarious, like you said.
Honestly, that's the funniest thing I've seen in a long time. Like I think I've replayed that video that you done on them, about 10 times now, man. I mean, since when was white supremacy so diverse, though? You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. I never seen that kind of white supremacy. That's a whole new level of it to me.
So I'm guessing you can get black supremacists as well, then, I guess, or is that...
I suppose that's the new thing in 2023, black white supremacists.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, they need to do a stand-up tour. They need to just go around the USA, do a stand-up tour, just replay the Jussie Smollett incident, and yeah, they'll kill, man.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's just a shame that none of them got done. I mean, they staged a what do you call it, a hate crime, right? They staged it. I mean, they should have been punished for it, right? I mean, I don't understand why they weren't.
Yeah, I mean, Jussie Smollett got found guilty, but he didn't go to jail. I don't think it's weird.
Yeah, I mean, because again, it's like there was I'll be very quick. There was an incident over here where a guy was accused of a rape. It went to court. The trial was there, and anyway, cut long story short, she was lying. The guy was proven innocent. If he was convicted of the rape charge, apparently he was looking at 20 years or more. Anyway, so he got found innocent, and she only got 2 years in prison, but she only do about a year without good behavior. And it's like, well, it's the same thing with the fake hate crimes. I mean, if you're going to do that and get caught, then you should be in jail for a long time. You know what I mean? As a deterrent to other people who want to stage other hate crimes, right?
Right. That's what it should be.
Yeah. So and so and also the sorry, what was it? The reparations with the, so was it 5 million each for each person? What was it?
Yeah, 5 million for each person in San Francisco.
Yes, again, this whole reparations talk is quite, I do actually generally find it quite sad. Like, I feel like it's a false hope for these people. They keep sort of thinking that this is going to be the way out of everything, and it's going to solve all the issues in these communities. And I mean, it might be a very, very nice short-term fix, but I mean, I think the Democrats have ruined a lot of these inner cities, in those blue states, and it all comes down to policy, right? I mean, and policies are long term. You know what I mean? They can make or break a state, right? And I just feel like this reparations talk is just sad, and you're getting all these people's hopes up, and they're not going to get this reparations, are they? I don't think they are.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was saying I don't think so. I don't think they're going to get that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Zelensky could give it helping hand and give him some money. I mean, we all know he's got it.
That's right.
You know what I mean, yeah, and sorry, last thing, as you know, when you the actress who what's her name, the one who has that it's a son but she's a daughter, I can't remember her name, Jamie Lee Curtis, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you showed a picture of him, was it just me, or I heard the Halloween theme tune in my head stop playing?
Hey, I think I heard the same thing you heard.
Yeah, it was quite freaky. I was like, oh, yeah. But sorry, I don't want to take up too much time. Thanks again for your show. Yeah, I love your content. You do such a good job, man, and I really appreciate everything you do, man. So take care.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
Take care. Thanks. Bye.
All righty. I think that'll be enough for me tonight. A wrap for me tonight. Thank y'all for being here. You guys are fantastic as always. If you couldn't get on tonight, I'm sorry. It's not my fault. Please blame the white man. A lot of great calls tonight. A lot of great people in the chat. You guys are hilarious in the chat too. I read some of your chats. You guys are very funny. I got super chats to read right quick. Then I wrap it on up. Put the bow on the top. Thank you to everybody that's been watching, super chatting, retweeting, whatever you're doing. I appreciate you. Thank you for the mods, for keeping the trolls nice and in check. And super chats on deck. I'll read those right quick. Or did I get everything? I think I got everything. Yeah, I'm good to go. I am good to go. So that'll be a wrap. I'll be back live again. I'll be back live again on Saturday, same time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's right around 11. And I'm here every day pretty much, except for Sunday, putting out pre-recorded content. I think tomorrow I'm going to talk about the 82 billion with a B that corporations have given to BLM-related causes, and how not one red cent, not one green dollar has made its way to the so-called black community, to the point where they go into San Fran saying, hey, can I get $5 million reparation? I mean, silly stuff. But that'll be a wrap for me. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.